I'ma keep it real. Me and my boys, we would split a pill. Noodles and pots in a pot was a nigga meal. Now that we on, we gon' split a meal. I take a jet when I'm overseas. None of my girls gon' get over me. Shout out to Hawk, shout out Dooley, shout out Hennessy. Them be my bros till the death of me. Nobody know how I really be. I got some bars for a nigga if you wanna see. Dress up your talk if a nigga wanna talk to me. Fuck your phone calls, I don't want apologies. Everyone said, yeah, they said I was gonna peak. Most number ones in a nigga league. I think your girl fell in love with me. She say my fuck and my tongue gave a remedy. Oh, yeah, yeah. I just hit a lick and I know you feeling some way. I just took that chick and I know you feeling some way. Oh yeah, she just want a nigga like me. You feeling some way, yeah. She just want a nigga like me. I ain't playing no
way. We got him feeling some way. Cause he see Axel in the place, total way. I gotta get myself together, it's a date. I spent 2,000 on a sweater. I think about the side, the store look better on my waist. I think my nuts look better on her face. This bitch got addicted, all she did was take a taste. Now you getting mad because you got replaced. The brown boy and the star boy on the track. Haters gonna say this shit is whack. I went to the hill straight from the trap. I'ma fuck your bitch and give her back. She said she pop pills, I told her stop it. Check my little pocket, I got options. I'm the first brown boy to get it poppin'. If I say the word, my shooter's gonna pop it.
Oh, yeah. I just hit a lick and I know you feeling some way. I just took that chick and I know you feeling some way. Oh, yeah. She just want a nigga like me. You feeling some way. Want a nigga like me, I ain't playing no games.
Today, we're going to talk about college football and NFL weekend winners. We're going to talk about the squad ride, of course, and some winners for today. This is Behind the Lines.
Well, Chad, I thought we were going to get through an entire football game without Jalen Hurts doing something stupid, but then he did this. How are people still in on the Eagles? It makes no sense. This team is a fraud. Jalen Hurts is a fraud. Sirianni's a fraud. This defense is bad. Jalen Hurts has lost a step. He had one good season. Be realistic. This guy's a pick machine. He's inaccurate, and he's not a great passer. Jalen Hurts is a fraud, and so are the Eagles. Go ahead and give me the Rockies on the ML. And I want to fade Arizona once again. No chance they lose a second game in a row to the Rockies, right? No chance.
Snell's locked in, Krabs. The Orioles bats are awful. We're taking it. More so just to make dudes pissed off, really, is why I'm taking it.
I mean, gentlemen, the White Sox are 35-115. They've won 10% of their games for the season in the last 3 fucking games. Whoever is in charge of that squad, organization, program, minor leagues, major leagues, should be fired and not allowed in the sport ever again.
Say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping up since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless.
What's going on, Chad? Happy BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week, episode 569 piece. Nice. Presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Bookit Sports, what are you doing? Figure it out. Start tracking your bets this weekend for college football and NFL on Bookit Sports. I'm joined by my 2 co-hosts, Jovan and BookitwithTrent. W's gents. Happy Friday. We made it. We survived. How are we feeling on this Friday morning?
Fantastic. Feel great.
Good.
Excited for the weekend. Got a bunch of games. Big slates.
Loaded slate. NFL, great games across the board. College football, some great matchups as well. As I get a phone call right now as we start streaming. Nice. Some great matchups on both the college football slate and NFL slate this weekend. I'm stoked to talk about it. We're going to spend plenty of time on it, gents, and also talk about, the slate for tonight as well. Pretty solid college football slate on a Friday night, if I could say so myself. Chad, how we doing? We got 3 go peaks coming in, resubbing W's. Love to see it. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. We're going to lock in and find some winners for today. Plain and simple. Okay, plain and simple. We can get started out by doing some recaps. How about that squad ride last night? Sure. Jovan?
W Flyers.
Great fucking call, dude. Yes.
In the squad
Great
red
fucking
hole.
call. Great fucking call. Flyers team total. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't have
Great
to worry
fucking
about
play.
that, those shit goalie. Fedorov in net is rat piss. Thank God we did not get involved with that side.
100%. 100%. We'll take a peep at the Sharp report as well. We'll see how we did yesterday. I somehow lost that under in the NFL game and the Yankees ML. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Jovan, it was never the Saints.
Never was. I got gross on both the primetime games this week. Couldn't get both. Could only get one. Way too cute.
Disgusting. Horrible.
Kyron Drones had 45 rush yards about 2 minutes into the second quarter of that game, and he ended up with 40.
No.
That's rats.
Let me say that again for people in the back who didn't hear that, how ridiculous that is. He had 45 yards on the ground 2 minutes into the second quarter, and he ended with 40 yards. That means he lost 5 yards. He had negative 5 yards from the second quarter on. Give me a fucking break, dude. Give me a fucking break. Brutal. And that's not even the worst beat of last night. Let's go to look at King of the Board as well. Jovan, your first loss since fucking Nam on King of the Board.
Nam, dude.
What a stretch that was, dude. What a stretch.
Yeah. We still gotta finish it off tonight. Maybe
the tables have turned. You know, back in my day, I used to dominate this challenge, King of the Boards. Recently, you have been absolutely crushing me. But last night, we got the Canucks through the hoop, finally, hit a nasty play on the ice, and we have a red check mark, or a red X, next to Jovan's name on King of the Board for the first time in literally like 2 weeks. Crazy. Jovan, great run. Either way, bounce back with another winner tonight, finish strong. All right? Get that W. Do we have a second for me to bitch about something? I mentioned some other bad beats that were worse than that Kyron Drones one somehow. Can we hop into it? I feel like you gents might want to talk about some of these games as well.
Sure.
Of course.
JC, run that shit. Hey, look, guys, you heard me bitch about the 0-5 day yesterday and some of the ways those bets lost. But wait, there's more. Okay, these games last night, are you fucking kidding me, dudes? The Yankees take a lead back after they look dead in that game, dead as ma, and they fucking come back with back-to-back nukes. Aaron Judge and Stanton looking like the fucking Yankees are finally going to do something in the postseason. Aaron Judge finally hits a meaningful, impactful hit in the postseason for the first time in his career. And they blow it. And they find a way to fucking blow it. Look, we should have known the Yankees bullpen was going to come back and bite them in the ass at some point. They've been a little bit too good. But my goodness, did we think it was going to be Big Christmas with 2 outs and the game on the line? Yes. You did. You knew it.
I'm legit.
You knew it was coming.
I've never felt something more in my plums. Those who were watching Night Sweats know I literally called it, bro. It was written in the stars.
Release Navidad.
So
because that ball was hit into another country.
He's on deck swinging the bat, and they show him while Lane Thomas is currently in Battle of Berg at the plate.
Great hit, like, great at bat. Yep.
I'm like, dude, no way Jinxie Noel is fucking coming up. And Javon's like, they're not even going to get to him, brother. Sure enough, fucking Lane Thomas off the tippy top of the wall. Here comes John Casey Noel. And I'm like, dude, this game is fucking tied. It's tied. I've already seen it. And I got the same exact fucking moment of when I was at the sports book earlier this year, sweating out a Jinxie Noel home run. I knew it was fucking coming. Same exact pitch. Absolute turkey.
I mean, yeah. Give me a fucking bat. 88 down the cock thing? Yeah.
What is that?
Come
on. Oh, like, why?
Worst pitch of your candidate. For sure.
Come on.
It's easy to say now after the fact, but like that dude's in there. That dude's in there for one job, and it's that. Because you got Jimenez up next, who is probably not going to win you the game.
But he's not going to do that.
He's
not going to do that.
Definitely not doing that.
No. He's never done that. But you know who has? Jinxie Noel.
I fucking love Jinxie Noel. I loved him during the season, and I think that this might have just fucked the Yankees over, bro.
I mean, their bullpen is taxed. You've got Weaver, who's been fucking playing out of his absolute mind out of the bullpen this season. This guy's not that good. And it finally caught up to him last night. Jinxie Noel, big Christmas. I haven't seen a pimp job that good maybe all season. That's got to be a top 5 pimp job of the year. I mean, the bat flip, the ball was obliterated. As soon as he hit it, you knew it was gone. And that game was fucking tied. And Jovan, you know better than fading or talking shit about Lane Thomas. And this game's over? Come on, man. When the lights are bright, Thomas shows up. He's got no problem.
Yeah,
he's got no problem. He's been very clutch for the Guardians all postseason. Yeah.
Yes, randomly.
Krabs, October always gets weird. When has it ever been a square October?
Ever.
You know, one, the Dodgers are winning today, but two, this series is not over.
No, but how do you go from saying that to saying the Dodgers are winning today automatically?
Because, dude, the Mets are fucking dead.
Okay. So what's going to happen today, like yesterday, when we were saying, oh, the Mets are the team they're going to bark and the Guardians are dead. Today, it's the absolute opposite. People are going to be back in the Guardians again after that big win, and nobody wants to bet on the Mets after they got crushed for a second game in a row. I'm thinking maybe the Mets are the Guardians of today. And with their backs against the wall, the Dodgers maybe not pissed off if they lose this game after winning the last 2. They get to go home and clinch, on their home field. I think it's the Mets.
Promise you, brother, it's not the Mets. I promise. Please. Don't take
it. Promise?
I promise you, dude. It's over. I'm not trying to be like it's a guarantee.
I was going to say.
Shit's free as mom. No. I'm not saying throw the bankroll on it. As a fucking baseball fan, the Mets grimace magic is out.
It's worn out.
It's worn out. You can tell at the plate. Yeah. They look depleted. They can't fucking touch it.
They're done. Yep.
They got to get up today and face Jack Flaherty.
Yep. No, you're not wrong at all. Now, can I ask you this? Was that not the same exact scenario for the Guardians yesterday?
We
were saying the same shit.
Who pitched yesterday? I did say the same shit. I feel
like Clark Schmidt's a little different than
but I was losing all confidence in the Guardians pre-yesterday.
Right.
But after a game like that, dude, it changes the whole trajectory of the momentum of the series.
I do have to say though, Trent, you do know what time this game is, right?
It is during the day. You're right. That is not great. Not great.
That is not good.
No, but
if the Mets had any pulse, you wouldn't be betting the Dodgers today.
When was the last game that they lost? It was a Monday at 2 o'clock when they gave up the 6 runs. That's during
the Dodgers.
Yeah, that was a day game.
I don't know if this one counts as that daytime rain.
Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern, 5:08 p.m. too, right? Like after the workday. That might not even count as daytime Dodgers, but the sun will be out.
Yeah, sun's out.
The sun will be out. The sun will be there. It'll still be cold as well, but look, the Mets have gotten outscored 18-2 in their last 2 games. In their 3 losses in the series, they've gotten outscored 27-2. 27-2. And they're shorter dogs today than they've been at any time this series. Come on. Mets are going to be the Guardians of today. I didn't hear no bell. I'm taking the Mets one more time.
Wow.
One more time. We'll talk about it in a moment. This wasn't even what we're supposed to talk about right now, but I love it. And I love talking baseball with you gents. And this isn't even the worst beat of last night, by the way, the Jinxie Noel cake on the Yankees ML. I want to get that straight. Not the worst beat last night. The worst beat last night, if anybody actually continued to watch the Thursday Night Football game on Amazon Prime, shout out Bezos for the worst fucking product out there. My goodness. I'm still trying to figure out how that game went over. I don't know. That was the greatest bet for the entire game until the last 4 minutes. Spencer Rattler lubes up the football with KY jelly before he goes out there on the fucking field. That ball has zero control in his hands. Zip. That ball is loose as a goose. And guess what? To make matters worse, fucking Will Barton, former commander, the worst player I've ever seen in my entire life, who's turned into a star for this Broncos defense this season. Will Barton's the guy to backpedal it into the fucking end zone. But wait, there's more. Because we still had some points to play with at this point. When they scored that touchdown, I still had 7.5 points in my pocket, and there's 3 minutes left in the game. I'm thinking there's no way in fuck that we see a Saints team show any heart. This game's over. Their last offensive drive, maybe the biggest joke. This guy shouldn't even get their paychecks. Alvin Kamara, don't care if that was the game plan to shut him down. That guy didn't want to be there, and he stinks. He didn't give a fuck, and he gave up in the second quarter of that game. He didn't give a shit. Take his paycheck. He didn't want to be there. But the worst part is, I saw more effort from that Saints team on offense with their third string fucking QB in there than I saw from the entire game from the Saints. They were calling timeouts with a minute left. They were making great passes. Jake Hayner, have a fucking day. You're starting next week for the Saints. You proved that in one drive. That's how bad Spencer Rattler's been. My goodness. And we knew as soon as he went into that game, they were scoring a fucking garbage time touchdown. And what do you know? They got some bullshit flags. They got some fucking defensive pass interferences down the stretch that weren't fucking right calls. And the Saints get in the fucking end zone for garbage time and the game goes over. Unbelievable.
I mean, we said it all along. It did not feel like a Krabs play.
Yeah, it didn't, and it was kick. Should have hit, though.
Should have hit.
Should have.
I don't know. Chad, what do you guys think is worse? You think it's that under bad beat? You think it's the Yankees ML bad beat? Or you think it's Kyron Dragons having 45 rush yards in the second quarter when it just starts and then they end with 40? They're all pretty fucking bad. Golly. All right. We got to lock in for today. Can we get no more bad beats? Can we only get, bets that we lock in and for some reason they're easy today? It's never that case. Maybe today will be the day. We got a loaded college football slate. We've got plays on the ice. We've got plays on the diamond. Let's hope the gambling gods reward us today for the hard work. All right, let's fucking lock in. Why don't we dive in and talk a little bit about Sharp Report for today? Let's go over the plays. Let's get into it. Mets ML, speak of the devil. I mean, I already pretty much gave the sell job at this point, so I'll go ahead and add on a little bit here, but not much more to it. The main thing that keeps sticking in my brain here is the fact that after the Mets have gotten absolutely emasculated, not only the last 2 nights, but 3 or 4 games in this series, they have gotten absolutely embarrassed, destroyed, beaten so bad it looks like they don't even belong there. And this team is only plus 115, shaking the dust off of fucking Peterson. Give me a break. With how good Flaherty's looked? Yeah, there it is. Sure. Can't find the Orioles Bucky, but he can find the Dodgers hat.
No, he fucking charging Jewel.
I was grabbing a water in the jewels right there.
I thought he switched hats, but he's probably already rocking it. But look, guys, the Mets plus 115. Give me a fucking break against Flaherty, who's been great. Now, I will say Flaherty strikeouts is pretty high. Not a great sign for the Mets there. Good sign for the fantasy score potentially too, Trent. But I'm taking the Mets. I didn't hear no bell. I think with their backs against the wall, they fucking inch out just a little bit more Mets grimace magic for tonight, and they get a big time win in their last home game in the series. Series is still done. Future's dead. Should have cashed out, but they win tonight.
Sure.
Bon.
I mean, I have a play in this game, but it's not a side.
Please don't
finally taking the under.
Dude, how can you take the under?
What do you mean, how can I take the under? This is a pretty important matchup, I would say, in terms of not just the significance of the game, but the status of the pitching staffs going forward. Like Jack Flaherty, they're going to have to ride with him as long as they can. I think he's going to pitch very well. Obviously, you do too, Trent, but he's going to have to pitch well. The Dodgers are going to have to throw the kitchen sink at him because they do not want this getting to a very important game 6 with their pitching probably at the most vulnerable point you're going to see it all series. So, I think this is not only a spot where Flaherty's going to pitch well, but also a spot where the bullpen behind them, you're getting the full cast of characters. It also helps that last night was not competitive, so they didn't have to use anybody in a pretty big spot. They used some of the top arms, not all of them, but you're all going to see him today. It's going to be everything. And then you have David Peterson on the mound, who I don't know what the leash is going to look like on him, but same deal. The Mets have to do everything in their power to win in this game and throw out every best possible arm. Every single matchup that matters is going to matter 10 times more. And the Dodgers really haven't been destroying lefties in the playoffs so far when they have seen them. So I'm in. I think this is finally the game that we see go under. And doesn't hurt that it's the partial daytime Doyers. So if the Mets are going to stick in this game really at all, I think it's going to have to be from the Dodgers offense not showing up as much.
Who wins the game? Who wins the game?
I still think it's the Dodgers, but I don't think it'll be very emphatic.
Fair.
Love the under. Hate the read on the side. Obviously a little biased, but I like the under, and it's probably hitting today. You got some cojones going back to the well, but you've been good and patient, and you haven't been taking these shitty unders the last couple games. I have.
Patient.
I'll sit this one out. You take this one. It's Max. Trent, what do you got for us today, man? First play, and there it is. Yep.
Yeah, I already kind of did a little sell job too, but the Dodgers need this fucking game more than people know. If they lose this game, shit's gonna get fucking weird in game 6, and that's the last thing they fucking want. They want this extra rest. They want to go to the World Series and end it tonight. They got their guy on the bump. The bats for the Mets just have you can tell the magic is running out, Krabs.
They're dead.
Tip my cap to you taking the Mets, but I think it's fucking over, bro.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'm either going to look like Megamind or the biggest bozo in the planet. Nothing's new here in this spot. Right? I know what I'm signing up for here with this Mets bet. It's either going to be beautiful or ugly as shit. We'll see. But like the Jovan has the under. Give us a chance. Come on. All right, Trent. Dodgers ML. We knew it was coming. We'll talk about some of those other plays here in a moment. Kind of like that +3. We'll get back to it, though. Swing it back around, Gatesy. We talk about play number 2 here. How about Florida State +3? Yep, I'll do it. And honestly, the ML probably a decent look as well. And I don't know what the spread's down to right now, but I've seen it move from +3.5 to +3 today. Right now, it's still looking like it's +3. Depends on what book you're looking at. But guys, Duke's run is over. Bless their hearts. Smart kids down there, but they're not good. They're not good. They've gotten away with playing some of the crummiest teams in the ACC. They have pulled off some good upsets. Malik Murphy at times has made good throws. I'll give him that. He's overperformed my expectations for sure. But this Duke team is not like that. Let's not forget they lost their legendary coach, Mike Elko, this offseason. They got out to a great start. They are coming off their first loss of the season, finally, when we faded them against Georgia Tech. But Florida State, man, this team is fucking rat shit. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. But they did cover and hang around against Clemson, who's been very impressive so far this season after that Georgia out. I think Florida State's on the come up here a little bit. I don't think they can get worse. I'll back their coach, who looks like a fucking idiot right now with how much he bitched after going undefeated last year and not making the college football playoffs. And then they come in this season with all the transfers and new players and absolutely shit the bed. Well, that's the exact program and team that I want to buy low on 6 games into the season. I'll take Florida State. Nasty line. There's a reason it's come down from +4.5 to now +3. I bet you it closes to +2.5 as well. Grab this while you can now responsibly. The Seminoles probably win the game outright, but I'll take the field goal just in case because Malik Murphy does have a horseshoe up his ass this season. Lucky.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one, Krabs.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I can't think of no disrespect. No disrespect. I couldn't think of 2 wagers I'd rather not take than those top 2.
I mean, that's probably
music.
Exactly what Krabs wants you to say that.
Music to my fucking ears. Bless your heart, Trent, but that's music in my fucking ears.
I mean, chat, come on, dude. Am I wrong?
Right, man. If it was as easy as taking the other sides, we wouldn't have jobs.
Yeah, it's literally
We'd be retired.
If I took the other side fucking
point, dude.
If I took the other side yesterday, I'd be up fucking 20 units. Sorry. I'm crashing out.
Well,
Krabs,
Florida State +3 looking like a pretty good play. Chat, I got to check out what you guys are saying, but that might have to go in the squad ride vote.
One of them is saying, because I've seen it on the feed, Florida State is 22-0 all time against Duke.
Mm.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Never lost.
Dude.
Never will. Never will. Never lost, never will, never have.
I'm not saying like Duke is the right side. It's just like how are you putting coin on Florida State in the Big 2-4?
Well,
DJ.
They've made the QB change.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Their backup QB has a game under his belt, and some of the prize pick squares make it seem like he might be useful today at points.
That's fair. That's better.
I mean, there's not a program that I want to sell high on more than Duke at this point. There's not a more fraudulent 5-1 team in probably college football, definitely the ACC, than the Duke Blue Devils. This team is not good.
Okay. Fair.
This team is not good.
I thought this line was a little short, to be honest with you. And FSU's not in FSU's favor. I was a little surprised.
You thought it'd be a pick 'em?
Yeah. People forget. I mean, Duke was 10-point underdogs to Georgia Tech, and FSU was favored against Cal. Like, this is, I would say it's honestly a little weird that Duke is -3, not closer to a pick 'em.
Well, whatever they're doing, they're getting action on Duke.
Brock Glenn's first road start in his career. So it's a big moment.
Really formidable place to play down there in Duke, and maybe the worst stadium of all time.
Yeah.
Their football stadium. It's actually a fucking joke. I remember touring that school for some reason, thinking I could get in high school and visiting the campus. Very cool campus. But their football stadium, I remember leaving being like, that's a fucking joke.
Right.
I know they're a basketball school, but I see what you're saying. Duke's got the worst football stadium of all time. It's like undergrounds, but like not nice. And it looks like an old high school stadium. I'll be the guy to bet Florida State today. I mean, Jovan, I guess I can see your point there, but let's keep it simple. Florida State is 1-5. They've cost bettors coins every fucking week. Duke has been a money factory for people betting them this year, and they're getting 70% of bets on the ML. They're not winning this game.
Fair.
Give me the Seminoles. Give me the backup QB. Give me Mike Norvell. Give me a pissed off Florida State team still trying to make a statement and prove that they're them. They got a lot of work to do. Starts tonight on the road. Jovan, let's go to your next play here. Wow, you're doing it. Skit.
Could not do it. I really couldn't.
You're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of points. Maybe I guess you could say it's too easy, or it seems a little easy because it's a shit ton of points and Oregon hasn't really been covering these. But from what I've been seeing on the feed and I guess talking to every other person on the coin toss, not a lot of people, surprisingly. I thought it would be a lot more that wanted to back Purdue today. So I'll hop in. I don't love backing quarterbacks when they have their first start or first appearance and they look good and you come back second game, but it's probably one of the bigger letdown spots you're going to see in all of college football all year. And we know weird things happen when you have these weekday games or just night games in general, with Purdue hosting a ranked team. So now I think, especially on the defensive side for Oregon, you want to lean into that against an offense that's been terrible all year. Not last week, because that Purdue offense looked really good against a tough Illinois defense, but there's a lot of unknown there, a lot of unknown that I think I want to buy into, because that's exactly the shit that happens when a ranked team comes in on a weekday game to Purdue. We've seen this time and time again, a lot of the time with Ohio State, but other teams have been involved too. I don't know. Oregon just plays up or down to their competition. They played really, really well against Ohio State, especially offensively last week, but we've seen them struggle against, I don't know, more piss poor defenses and teams. And I think they're going to get their fair share of points. I don't think that's really an issue, but I do kind of believe Purdue can keep up for a little bit. So keep it within 4 touchdowns. I would be not standing on business if I didn't buy into the letdown spot that we had kind of hinted at for a bit of the offseason.
Mm-hmm. If Purdue didn't almost pull off that miracle on the road against Illinois in their last game, I'd be all over this with you. Not that I don't like the play. I do like the play. Lean it, like it, could get to the counter, wouldn't have any problems taking it. The reason I didn't put it on myself or love it myself is because Purdue, I mean, they tweaked in that last game, even in a loss. They put up 49 points. Now you can make the argument, maybe they carry that momentum into a home game against Oregon. They can get up for that game right after they showed they can do it. They can hang with some big squads last week, put up a 49-burg. Oregon comes into town. Oregon still, I mean, just as bad of an against the spread record as Purdue, 2-4. Not like they've taken care of business much this year, but they're finally coming off a big-time win. Automatic fade spot for Oregon after that upset at home, right, against Ohio State. So I like the majority of the sell job in the play and the angle. The only reason why I didn't have it on there myself, probably because Purdue played too good in that last game.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that didn't concern me, but I gotta. It's like Godson saying, preseason stand on business plays. Knock on wood, those have been printing, so I got to stand on it. And after reading all these comments, I feel a lot more confident in Purdue keeping up. I will say that.
Yeah, you should. People are saying we're just throwing random shit at the wall.
Are y'all making joke picks today? I'm lost. Purdue and FSU might be air.
Oh, man. There's one thing Jack can do that can make me laugh. That's for sure. Trent, let's go to your second play here. Let's see what you're crafting up. How about Nevada +3?
Yeah, not gonna lie, couldn't name one player on the field in this matchup. But I know one thing, and Fresno State fucking sucks. Give me the late night Wolfpack to cover. I think they win outright.
Okay. Well, first off, we got a 5-unit subwell coming in from Aries. Let's fucking go, dude. Yes.
Aries.
Yes. And we got Noda Crancher coming in with a resub as well. Love the Bookit fam skull. Looks like he's riding that Vikings wave right now. Sure. We'll talk about the Vikings in a moment. Jovan might have your back there, Noda. W subbies from Aries. Love to see it.
Someone back me up on the sell jobs. Is a W play?
Is it a W play? It's a Trent play. It's a Trent play. I'm not going to fade it. I think it's a little bit of a square dog. But Fresno has owned them over the last couple of years. And I think Nevada has a good chance to, if they win this game on the ground and use their legs, they have a chance. Brendan Lewis, pretty underrated QB, especially with his legs. Fresno State has given up gobs of yards on the ground in their last 2 games to Washington State and their electric dual threat QB, who might as well be a running back, and UNLV, Haj Malik Williams, their stud QB. That guy had 150 yards on the ground and dominated on the ground. So I think Brendan Lewis, if he uses his legs, you hit this bet. But if he tries to get too cute and use his arm, he fucking sucks at throwing. You could be in some trouble there. So let's hope Nevada's coaching staff is locked in for a home game here against a moose shit Fresno team coming off of back-to-back losses.
Rav play this dropped over in Oregon.
Wow.
Has he lost 5 in a row?
Yeah. I think so.
Dude, the one last night was actually bullshit.
No, I know.
It was
Actually bullshit.
I will say though, it was a miracle that it was even at the table at that point. So it's like it was a tough beat, but really had no business even getting there.
Yeah. P-Paul's balance is depleting.
Jovan, do you think that over helps with your Purdue bet, or do you think that goes against your Purdue bet?
I mean, it could go a bunch of different ways. I think the way the game's going to go is Oregon comes out a little slow. Purdue kind of punches them in the mouth, and then Oregon pulls away. Not enough to cover 29.5, but that could come with points or it could come without points. I really couldn't tell you. I probably lean over with them, but I could very easily see the opposite happening.
Okay. Brent, they also have a Brendan Lewis Russian receiving touchdown square up there. Let me see if it's still up. He's the quarterback for Nevada that we were just talking about, a guy who I think could get active using his legs today. And if you want a chance to cover this game, he's going to have to. He's got a rushing yard square up at 56.5 that is green as mob, but I wouldn't mind going back to that again. And he's got a rushing and receiving touchdown square up. He has scored 3 in his last 2 games combined, but look, Fresno's rush defense is that bad, and I wouldn't mind in this case squaring up and taking that more than. Kind of goes with your Nevada play as well in the books.
Love that.
If they cover, he's probably running one in with his legs, to be completely honest with you. I don't see a world where I could see a world, but hard to imagine. If he doesn't find pay dirt, they don't come. Hard to imagine. We'll swing it back around here. We got one more straight bet each, gents, and then we'll get to the prize pick squares. Go ahead and give me Oklahoma State tonight. I'll do it. BYU undefeated against the spread. BYU might be the kryptonite for Krabs this football season. There's always one every year. Usually one in college, one in NFL. Right now it's BYU. I fucking hate their guts. They keep taking my coins. They're undefeated against the spread. They somehow, some way, non-sweatily covered and won last week when all the fucking pressure was on them, all the lights were on them, the lights are bright. They had fucking pregame TV shows going on there for Fox, and they still came through and won that game and fucked me over and took my coins. Well, just like the Mets, I didn't hear no bell. And after Oklahoma State has ripped off, I believe, 3 straight losses in their last 3 games, they have not looked good recently. They have not looked good over the last month. Yep, 3 straight losses after 3 straight wins. I think we see Oklahoma State maybe not win this game outright, but at least buy low on them to keep it within 10 points here. I think that's an overreaction to BYU and their record. Some of those wins are against Moose teams, although some of them have been impressive. They've had luck on their sides. And the spread being inside 10 points with how bad Oklahoma State has looked over the last month, to me, is telling. I'll back to plus 9.5. Who the hell wants to take that with Oklahoma State right now?
Yeah, not a soul.
Not
It's a
me.
gross play, and that's probably the one that's hitting. Half the team
Yeah.
fucking transferring, backup quarterback. I mean, even though he's probably going to be better than Bowman, Ollie Gordon's banged up, but looks like he's going to fight through it and play. It's all
This
the one
is
yeah, really weird.
this is the Krabs play of the week, probably, to be honest with you. If this game was on Saturday, it would be my meat on tape play for the college football weekend preview. This is a play that nobody's going to have the nuts to take besides me because I'm psycho when it comes to betting these nasty dogs, but it's a winner. I'm very curious to see what the money's at right now on BYU. I mean, I could not imagine anybody's fading them. Looks like the spread, they're getting 75% of bets, 70% of handle. Beautiful. ML, 93% of bets and handle on that ML. I'm assuming every person on earth will have BYU ML and something for tonight. That could be cake. But
you think
not banking on
BYU
an outright
wins?
win.
Javon, you think BYU wins?
Yeah, I would like to say so.
Right.
But that game might get weird. Might get weird, dude.
That game will get weird. But BYU might still win. I wouldn't bank on it. Could be OK State season. Nasty play. Let's get to Javon's last play here, and then we'll wrap it around to Trent. What do you got, Jovan?
I wanted Cincy when they're minus 2.5. That was going to be my meat on tape play for NFL or for college football preview. Weird game with them playing Arizona State, but now like Jeff Sims is starting, so the line took a fat jump. So I can't really include them in anything. So I wanted something to include them in. So I put them in a bozo pack with the Canes tonight, who are going up against the Pens, who we all saw how they very unfortunately won last game against the Sabres. Shit org up there in Buffalo, but now you just catch like the Penguins in a pretty weird spot because like they played the Cavs on the road, came back home for this little mini homestand where they played the Sabres, got a miracle win, and now they face the Canes, who are a tough defensive team, as we all know, even though they've come out a little slow throughout the series or throughout the season. And now they got to go before they go on the road to play like a couple of physical teams in the Jets, like the Flames, who have been a little better than people expect. It's like this is a game where I think you have a get right spot for the Canes, and they look really good offensively. There's some goalie regression too, because I believe what's his name is going to be starting today. Not Tristan Jarry, but Blomqvist, who came in towards the end of the Sabres game, and he's looked really good in his couple appearances this season, minus the little like minute and a half blip where the Sabres scored 2. So I feel like this is the game where he gets peppered with shots. This is the game where he looks like the guy he is. And Chelly may have jinxed him the second he said he was talking with Rav on Sweat saying that's your goalie. He immediately gave up 2. I feel like this is the disaster spot for him, just like we had with Montembeau against the Pens earlier this week, where he was on his little Linsanity run, and that ended very, very quickly. So I'm in. Canes are winning. Since he's winning, call it a day.
I might have to put
Love it.
Canes in some shit tonight.
Love that toothpaste. Talk about a toothpaste bezo pack that I can get behind and tail. I'm in. Sign me up.
One you had last night was air.
Yeah, that was paw.
Plus chicken. Hokies. Never in doubt. Jovan, say one thing nice about Tootin.
I mean, Tootin had a fantastic game. Fantastic game. Top 5, top 10, no. But that was a great game.
Closer now than he was yesterday.
That's because
everybody
else in the top 10 has not played a game this week, Krabs.
Grant, we had an argument yesterday. Not really an argument, but just me bitching, gassing up my guy Tootin, stud running back for the Hokies, who tweaked last night. I mean, he had almost 300 yards on like 19 touches. Crazy. 4 touchdowns. And I called him the top 5 running back, and Jovan stuffed me in a locker and said there's guys who are better, and there are. But Tootin, man, that guy is literally Kyron Williams, the way he plays.
Let's be clear.
He is Kyron Williams.
Not saying he's not fucking good, because he is. There's just top 5's a high bar, but he's really good.
Yeah.
Also,
it is.
Trent did not realize that parlay is a fuck rap parlay.
Oh, it is a fuck rap parlay.
Somebody said that in chat.
I love that. Fuck Rav.
I got a feeling Rav is bouncing back with his college football play today. I'm in his corner.
Nah, dude, I
I
kind of
think
want
he
to
hits
buy
one.
in. I want to buy in
He's
before
dope.
the weekend. This might be it.
He's dope.
I just realized that our lineup from yesterday lost on Manzardo. Sorry, we were talking football and I remembered I had Castellanos. I forgot if it was green or not. I went to check.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck SPR, dude.
SBR might have to hang him back up again.
Yep.
Trent, you got one more play for us? Let's go to it. Let's see what you're cooking up. How about your own grease piece?
My own
Let's hear it.
grease here.
Good.
I mean, the Avs are fucking terrible. I can't believe I'm going back to them. But it's the Rat Piss Ducks coming off a legacy win.
I can believe it.
Legacy win 2 nights ago against the Kraken the Utah Hockey Club in overtime. W win from them. But I mean, the Avs, they got to win a fucking game, dude. They're at home Friday night. They're not going to lose every game. This is the get right spot. And
this line's even weirder than the other 9.
Why?
Is it?
It's the fucking.
I mean, maybe the Ducks aren't good, but they're 2-1. They're all to a hot start.
If anything, vintage Avs, this is minus 450.
Yeah.
You think so? But they're 0-4.
Yeah. So
the Avs, the Krabs.
They
Like,
did
for
open up
comparison,
way
the-
shorter. They've gotten steamed a lot. Go ahead, John.
VGK, for comparison, when they played the Ducks at home, they're minus 300.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if Colorado was 4-0 and Anaheim was 0-3, like these teams should be, probably, they would be minus 400, probably right. It's got to just be based on performance for the season. The Ducks are on fire, 2-1. Who the hell would have thought that? And Colorado's 0-4. Crazy. But they opened up. You could make the argument they opened up extremely short, minus 200, but they've gotten steam like 70 cents throughout the night, bro.
It's
good sign for the Avs as well there.
The Avs at home are probably, you can count on the amount of,
Some
count
of the
the amount of time in
juiciest
your
favorites.
hand. Yeah, like they get a lot of respect there, and they're never not going to get steamed, even when they're rat shit.
Yeah. Well, Brent, you did not hear no bell, much like me with the Yankees, much like Jovan with that under in the postseason. Why not go back to the Avs one more time? They're catching steam. They're playing a 2-1 Ducks team. I could get down with this fucking 2-piece as well. I've seen worse. All right.
I'm a little sketched out about BYU, but I might just have to clench cheeks and pray.
What would be another serviceable pivot? Maybe Carolina on the ice that Jovan already has in his bozo pack?
Love
That would be
2 to 3
really
favorites.
plus chicken, though. Yeah.
Dodgers, Avs, Canes, BYU.
That's the most Bookit with Trent.
I'm getting back to my roots, dude. I literally
roots.
wagered Krabs. I don't know how you do it, bro. I wagered $10K in straight bets this week. I'm up $180 after all the bitching, all the sweating, complaining. It's like, what the fuck?
Bro, you're either built for the straight bets and built to be contrarian or you're not. And most people aren't, and that's okay. But yeah, the straight bet life is not for everyone. I mean, Jovan could speak for it too. I don't know how many sneak parlays he's sending over there. Who knows? They're probably all turning green too. But he's not a parlay guy.
And you know why I'm only up $184 is because, I'm not even going to say it, man.
Just say it.
It's a fucking sneak jelly cake, bro.
Well, you could replace BYU with Carolina, but even as a BYU fader for tonight's, I don't think BYU loses that game.
If you like, if BYU loses that game, I mean, you tip cap. That's a backup quarterback with a team that's super shorthanded on the road at BYU. BYU's fucking undefeated. If you can do that and clinch, I don't know, Oak State, crazy win, I think you tip cap to that. You live with that.
Facts. I mean,
You might be tipping cap then. They might win that fucking game.
I'm running out of caps to tip.
We can't just say if the play loses, we tip cap every time, because there's a chance you might be tipping cap there.
Not every time.
You might be tipping it
I feel
there.
like that's one you live with.
All right. You're probably right. I also hate BYU's guts, so I'm biased.
You can only have 2 hat tips a week.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna start putting limits on this. You can't just get 3 fucking cap tips a day. No, they don't mean anything. That they're
I
meaningless.
feel like Trent's got a lot of cap tips come his NFL plays. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Anybody in chat excited to hear Trent's read on the Chiefs versus 49ers?
I don't know what the read is, bro. My gut is like, it just looks at that game and wants to throw up.
Tell the people what you told me when I brought up before stream about the line.
What?
About the plus chicken line.
That just when we thought we'd never, ever see Mahomes at plus chick again, they're giving it to us again.
What do you know? You've got them as an undefeated team looking like they're unbelievable, putting Juju Smith in a fucking time machine, and they're playing against a moose shit 49ers team that's banged up. All their best players are hurt. They look like shit. Even their defense looks sketchy. And once again, and still,
I think
the 49ers are favorites. What the fuck?
for the sake of the community, I think we all must squad ride. Mahomes rush, Kelsey receiving, Ayuk under, and Mason 2 tutties.
Okay. For the vibes. I don't even think Mason's playing, bro. I think it's going to be Guerrero, probably.
Yeah,
Somebody in chat could probably give me a Jordan Mason. I've not been reading good things about Jordan Mason this week. He might be hurt.
Or Mahomes Demon Rush.
Yeah, what if we squad ride the original entry with the Mahomes demon in there?
I really don't want to bring that up because that shit.
Dude, oh my God.
I really don't want to bring that up because that shit actually makes me mad.
Chat, we had the Millie in the group chat. And I fucked it.
I mean, we had a perfect lineup.
Had to have a demon in it, right?
The demon was in there.
Yeah, the demon would have hit. It was the perfect lineup. Oh. Could have had $1 million in our pockets.
I would have given you both 100 G's.
You're so close, man.
Oh, maybe this year you'll listen to the NFL guys and take some squares.
Hold on, I got Mega Martians Goots.
Good luck, Goots.
Yeah,
good luck out there, Goots.
Rav is so crazy.
Yeah, that was Moose. Let's move on from that because that sucked. And we got Echoes, but Goots is working on the scene to get him out of here.
There we go.
Tense. Good. Goots, you're getting quick with it, man. You're killing it back there. Can we get some W Gootses in the chat? He's fucking killing it back there. He's killing it. All right, gentlemen. We just powered through and talked about our straight bets. Let's pick up the tempo and pace a tad here and go through our prize pick squares that we like for tonight, and then we can get into the good shit for the weekend. Okay. I'll get it started off with the prize pick squares, and I will back my guy, Lawrence Toafili. Probably know how you say it. I don't care if they win the game. I'll learn how to say it right. Florida State's running back. I think he has a field day today. I think he puts up a 50 berg with ease in this game. A little bit of a low number, but I do think Florida State, if they want to win this game, they're going to have to establish the run on the road against Duke. Duke's secondary has impressed me at times this season. I'm not going to lie to you. But tonight, I think they hand the ball off plenty to their guy, Lawrence Toafili, who they didn't play much last week. They kind of took him out, and that game got kind of ugly. They put in the backup running back a little bit more. I'll go ahead and take my chances with Lawrence. I think if Florida State wants to stay competitive in this game, keep it close, or pull off the upset on the roads, which I do like, and I have the +3, it's going to have to be with their running back, their senior. They're going to hand them the rock way more than they did last week when they got the freshman involved. It'll be a closer game. Give me Toafili. He can get some runs against some rushing yards against Duke. I'm not worried about that D-line. Peebles is on VT now. Their D-lineman is going to the league. He was a stud Russian blocker. He's not on their squad anymore, bro. Not worried about it.
Not
worried about
it. The VT mention.
Not even worried about it. And how about the damn Hokies last night taking care of business? Hey, all I'm saying is that our 3 losses are all by a combined 9 points, and they're all to pretty good teams. Do we still make the playoffs if we go undefeated? Maybe.
Krabs.
Maybe. I'll let chat decide. I'm going to go ahead and fade the BYU quarterback here, Jake Retzlaff. He's got a green as passing touchdown square up on prize picks that I'm taking the less than. I'm fading BYU. I like the under in the game. I like OK State. I'll keep it simple. And these passing touchdown fades, knock on wood, pretty solid so far this season. I'll go ahead and lean into another one tonight. Unfortunately for Trent, it's taken BYU's quarterback less than 1.5 passing tutties.
Sure.
That is a weird square.
That square is smacking.
Yeah.
That game's going under too.
Might be Maul.
Jovan, let's hear this Prize Pick Squares, my man. What do you got?
I got two for you. Start off with Ryan Brown. Again, rarely am I going to back a young quarterback, freshman quarterback that comes off of their first appearance going into their second. But if there is any way this game gets weird, it's going to be because they're slinging the rock, which partially, like, what the fuck do you have to lose right now if you're Purdue? Like, you just had a great performance on the road against Illinois. Now you're coming back with a freshman quarterback against a team who just had one of the best wins in all of college football. Pretty solid defense. Like, their secondary's been decent in some spots. Like, throughout the season, they're decent when they needed to against Ohio State. But Ryan Brown fucking slings rock. It's like we took Jack Lausch, like, for Northwestern, and that last Friday night game, which Jack Lausch pretty much only throws bomb. And if you're Northwestern going against a very vulnerable secondary, like, fuck else are you going to do? And Ryan Brown's in a pretty similar situation. Like, you have a chance. Obviously, you'd think they're going to be in a pretty W game script the entire game. But you're going to have a chance to do something crazy in your first, like, official start up against an Oregon team that's traveling cross country in a massive letdown spot. If this game gets weird, it's going to have to be like this. And I'm hoping this is the script we have. So I'm in on Ryan Brown. And Hakeem Williams, like, for Florida State, like, the problem sure has been DJU mostly and just everything in that offense, but nobody can catch fucking passes. Like, whether you're really any of the receivers or tight ends that have been catching balls from DJU or Brock Glenn. They shuffled the depth chart I saw this morning on Twitter, and they really gave everybody like a demotion except for Hakeem Williams, who was promoted to the full-time starter now. Which is a pretty big step for a young guy in his position. So, like, he's been one of the more reliable receivers, not just for Brock Glenn in that game that he had last week, but for DJU too. So, like, he's a guy who should be getting a lot more touches than he has, like, this entirety of the season. I feel like if FSU is going to be competitive in this game, you have Brock Glenn, who's making his first road start of his career. It's that third start overall. You're going to have to force feed Hakeem. This is a really good secondary. So, like, you need a contested catch guy in there when nobody else for FSU is catching rock. I'll take my chances with Hakeem. It's got to be his game. Got to be.
Surgical.
Is he the one receiver that has the high passing yards in a readout chart, or is he green?
He's green last game. But
Let me take a peek.
Red everywhere else.
Yeah, I love that angle. I did see that tweet as well with them moving the depth chart around, and that could be just what the doctor ordered for Florida State. Let's make some changes. Let's make some changes. Let's make some moves, right? Let's demote some people who aren't playing well. Hakeem Williams, do your job. You're not asking for much. 31 yards, 32 yards. Sure. All right. Trent, what are you crafting up over there, man?
I think Flaherty absolutely deals today, gets the job done for the Dodgers, and they go to the World Series. His strikeouts are at 6, which is pretty high. We saw Yamamoto last night get 5 Ks in 2 innings. Like I said, this Mets lineup is absolutely depleted. The Grimace magic has come to an end, and it ends today with a masterclass from Flaherty. Don't know a thing about this dude Darius Lassiter, but kind of looks like him. We know this Big 12 or the Big 12 or whatever conference fucking Oklahoma State is in nowadays. The defense is moose. And this guy dropped 120 against Baylor's defense. If you think this game's going to get weird, they're going to need to force the pass game, and they're going to go to their GOAT, and he's going to drop 100 ball.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Even with the ticket fade in that squad in my pocket, I think that game will be much closer than people expect, and BYU's going to have to be passing a little bit towards the end. Feed your guy Lassiter. He's a stud. He's had over 200 yards in his last 2 games combined. He's good.
He's him.
Yeah, he's good. BYU's good too, man. I don't want to give them no credits. I know they've been lucky this season. The balls bounce their way every time, but they're also good. I'll give them credit where credit's due. And this is long overdue. Their coach has been building this up for years. It's hard-earned. They got good kids over there. They deserve it. They deserve the luck. But tonight, might run out on the spread. You could still get yours, though, with Lassiter. Flaherty, I wish you took his strikeouts. His strikeouts is high as heck. I think, honestly, he could hit his strikeouts and still go over his fantasy and give up a couple runs here as well. I've seen more squares. I have. Jovan, thoughts on his 2 plays?
I like his 2 plays. For Lassiter, it's 2-headed monster with him and Chase Roberts. You just got to hope you pick the right guy. But against Oklahoma State, you might get both. And even though like Flaherty is coming off a masterclass, I think we talked about this with Garrett Cole. There's only so many times throughout the playoffs we've seen like 28 and higher fantasy scores, and especially with I mean, Garrett Cole threw a gem, like Scooball was at 29.5, and that's really where his number kind of plateaued at. I think he had a 30 start after that, but I mean, when you see those, it's usually been really good signs. So, I mean, I love this under, and with all the games going over in the series, seeing Flaherty at 29.5, I feel like that's pretty telling, even though, again, he's coming off a gem. So, man.
You know what else I liked about that Flaherty angle, besides obviously the strikeouts being really high? They had a pitching out square up for him, and they still do at 16.5. And we've seen them pull their starting pitchers extremely early the last couple of nights. And again, they might do it again tonight. Maybe that's just the game plan. Dive into your bullpen early. They've been unbelievable, damn near unhittable this entire postseason. Historic numbers from that bullpen. Wouldn't be shocked if they go to him super early, but I think that square might be a little bit of bait with what they've done in recent games. And maybe that's a little bit of a trap. And maybe he goes more than and goes out there for 6 innings. Gives up, 2 or 3 runs, gets 7 or 8 strikeouts. I do like his more strikeouts, but he gets those innings, and they actually leave a starting pitcher out there for once after using a couple of their good guys last night, like Trinan. Maybe they leave Flaherty out there for an extra inning this time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be shocked. I think his strikeouts could hit this fantasy score for you, whether he gives up a couple runs or not. It's high as heck. And the Mets have been striking out, man. Gosh, they look lost. We'll see. I'm very curious to see that lineup come out today. So if anybody sees that lineup for the Mets, please let me know. Very curious to see what they do with JD Martinez and Jesse Winker today. Jesse Winker was so fucking close last night to hitting a grand slam to make that game weird. He just missed it. Put him in the fucking lineup. I don't care if JD Martinez is JD Martinez. Put him in the fucking lineup.
Winker's in the lineup.
Good.
Trent busted.
That could be a dagger.
Dagger. Be seeing. Be fucking seeing.
All confidence is returned.
Flaherty under outs. Mets money line. Peterson over K's.
Bang! Bang! She scores to twist the game at the buzzer.
No way we're soundboarding for that.
Again, this comes back to what we talked about earlier in the week. Cares more about that than the actual play hitting.
I mean, dude, I've legit been fading all week. Had 0 play in this Saints-Broncos game. She posted that video, immediately put 1,000 on the Broncos.
Great play.
The other day with the Dodgers, I did it on the fucking BTL show. 1,000 on them after she posted it. Air. We're fucking grubbing.
She's low-key due right now. Not going to lie.
Nah, she got her magic with the guards yesterday.
Yeah?
Doing the
Okay.
guards. Wow.
Yeah. I faded. That's the only reason I took the Yankees. Only reason.
No wonder why they fucking lost.
Yeah.
You were betting on them.
I hate the Yankees. I'm probably not going to bet that series anymore.
What happens when they go to the World Series? Well, I guess that's an easy answer. Honestly, you're going to bet the Dodgers every game. Yeah.
I'll happily be faded.
Dumb question.
I want the Guardians to come back. I'm not going to bet on them. I'm not going to bet on the Yankees. Just let it split.
Okay. Yeah, give him a chance. Give him a chance to blow it. I'm
going to the bathroom real quick, but move on.
Yeah, hit it. We'll dive into some college football plays for the weekends.
Oh,
yeah.
Funny.
Let's dive into some college football plays for the weekend. Goodsy, you down to run that college football weekend preview? Get it up and moving? Okay.
Quick second.
We got time, bro.
Trent is going to be laughing when he sees these totals. That's like maybe the funniest bird of all time.
For college football total?
Yeah.
All right, Goodsy, run that damn intro. All right, Chad, you guys know the drill. All right, we've got 5 plays. We've got an over and under, a favorite, a dog, a meat on tape, and 2 prize pick squares for both college and NFL this weekend. Let's dive into the college football weekend preview. we'll get started out with some snooze fest. We'll get these puppies over with these unders that we like. And I'll go with that Navy and Charlotte under. Look, Navy's coming off a bye. I think Charlotte might be as well. And if you look at this matchup, I mean, look, guys, Charlotte's probably the right side. I can't do it. I can't get to the counter fade Navy. It's the one school for some reason. My body just won't let me place the fade button. It makes no sense, but I can't fade Navy. I do think Charlotte's a pretty good look on the spread here. I don't think it's going to be because of an offensive shootout, though. But look at what these teams have done recently, okay? You've got Navy, who's 5-0 to the over this season. They've been putting up points like I've never seen in my life. They don't score like this. This makes no sense. I thought it'd be their defense standing on business after they let Coach Ken go, right? And their DC steps up, becomes the head coach. Defense doesn't skip a beat. They've always been solid, even since the DC took over as head coach. But it's been the offense this year that's really tweaked. But I think it's fraudulent, man. A little bit. A little bit. Their opponents, their defenses are that bad. They are. They played some really bad fucking defenses this year. And they've had some luck go their way as well. Then you look at what Charlotte's been doing. They're coming off a game where they just put up a 55 burk against ECU. Hella points. Game soared over. Okay, they've had the over. They're 4-2 on overs this year. They've hit the over in 4 of their last 5 games. This total, it's high as heck. I think the total is this high because of what these teams have done so far this season. But is this the identity of these squads? I know it's not for Navy. And I think this is a crazy letdown spot for Navy with a big game next weekend against Notre Dame up at MetLife. Huge game. But they're going to take care of business here against Charlotte. I think Charlotte's defense does enough. I think Navy has a couple offensive mistakes, unfortunately. And I don't think Charlotte scores much against Navy in this game. Because of those 3 reasons, I think this game soars under, and this total is only this high because of what these teams have done so far this season, not the identities of the squad for Navy, and not even Charlotte, man. They're not putting up back-to-back 55 burgs. No chance. Not against Navy's defense. Not on the road. No.
I mean, this might be the biggest look-ahead spot in maybe the history of the Navy football program. People are saying.
Huge. Undefeated. They got a shit team coming into town, right? But this shit team is still undefeated in conference play. This shit team is still technically alive for a conference championship. And if they can pull off a crazy upset and beat Navy here, they'll be in first place. They could go to the college football playoffs still. Probably not. But this Charlotte team, they're not putting up back-to-back 55 burgs. But I think they do keep this game close, and I think that tailors with the under here in this game. It's going to be a snooze fest. Navy will have a couple of mistakes on offense for the first time this season. Give me the under. This total's too damn high.
Sure. You know I'm in.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm taking you to Lubbock. We got 2 teams coming off of a bye in Texas Tech and Baylor. And I really don't think that the bye works in Texas Tech, especially their favor, because they were fucking rolling heading into the bye week. They look really good this season, and I don't think that's a fluke. They're a really good team. But, I mean, a lot of their success is predicated on Taj Brooks. Baylor, their defense is built to stop these speed-running teams. They struggle with a lot of the more physical teams, like Iowa State, got through to them, and that's kind of what they do. But other teams, this is really what their whole defense, the Aranda defense, is built on. So I do feel like if anybody is going to stop Taj Brooks in a game that I also think Baylor is going to keep very competitive, I think this is the team to do it. It definitely helps that I think their momentum was halted a little bit by the bye week. And on the other side, like Baylor, they scheme well for Texas Tech a lot of the time, both on offense and defense. And they had trouble with Sawyer Robertson keeping the game close, especially against Iowa State when they went on the road, but they punched them in the mouth early. They just made him throw the ball too many times. So like the emphasis over the bye week has been, we got to keep the ball on the ground. They're getting healthier in the running back rooms. Like they're going to try and play a lot of clock control in this game. And I think when you look at this game and see Texas Tech, especially total, come in at 57 and move down 2 points, I mean, that feels like it tells all. So I'm going to bet accordingly because I think this is going to be a really weird game. Both teams coming off of a bye. I think the defense are going to be out to play early, a lot more than you'd think.
Total's down a couple points. Sign me up for this under. I'm in. I think Baylor's defense shows up and maybe even keeps this within the number as well. I lean that way.
I think they're going to win.
Yeah, and if they win and cover, it's probably going to have to be because of the under. I don't really see a world personally where if Baylor puts up valid points in this game, it's a good thing. I really don't. I think if they want to cover and win this game, it's probably going to go under. Those correlate. And I like Baylor. Good. Brent, Florida and Kentucky under, eh?
I can't believe I'm going to Berg with Jovan there.
Sweet.
Say
Say
that
next
first.
category, brother.
We might have a couple Bergs coming. It's going to be an interesting weekend. Yeah, this game, I looked at it for 2 seconds and told you it went under. Just screams
Okay.
under, man. Screams under. SEC matchup. That's all I got, man.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Goose,
What do
go to
you
the
mean
next-
that's all you got? You didn't
go
have
to the
anything.
Go to the next category, Goose.
You
Just
didn't
put it
have
up there, man.
anything. What do you mean that's all you got? You got zero. Go to the next fucking segment. Mikey
Yeah, there it
Overs. Jesus Christ, man.
No
Look at
way!
looked at it for 30 seconds, bro. Yeah, you deserve that because that's a shit play. Let me get Louisville on the team total over. I'm so thrown off right now. Louisville team total over. Okay, I do think they cover this game. I think maybe even they pull off the upset, but I'm willing to take my chances in a game. I like the over, but I want to isolate here. Okay, I want to back just Louisville's offense that I think puts up a big number against Miami. Maybe Miami covers this game and wins. That's why I stayed off the fucking side here because Miami just has a horseshoe up their ass all season. They're 6-0, and I'm a little bit worried that the one time I now fade them again since that Hokies game is when Miami actually earns a win and puts up hella points. But if that's the case, that means Louisville's going to be able to get garbage time points as well and go over this team total. I think Louisville covers this game, though, personally, and I love the total up from that opener at 55.5 up to 60.5. We're getting points from Louisville. They've looked like shit their last couple games after a hot start, but this team's better than that. And we know their offense is. And Miami's defense is legitimately bad. They are not good. You saw what Kyron Drones did against them in the air? Imagine what Shaw's going to do. An actual feasible QB.
I'm in on that, Krabs. I think regardless of what happens in the game, they're scoring. So I'm in. I genuinely do like the Florida-Kentucky over, too. This is my gross over of the week. And I usually don't love to get involved with Kentucky. I mean, we just took their under, and it was absolutely last week. It's been the story of their entire fucking season because, I mean, in SEC play, they've had 6 points, 12 points, 20 points, and 13 points against a lot of mediocre defenses, we can call it, because I would say Vandy and South Carolina fit that mold. But this is a big game. Just like Kentucky, Tennessee always, or Florida, Tennessee, sorry, always gets weird. And that was what I leaned into last week. Florida, Kentucky always gets weird. Florida owned that series for a while. Now Kentucky's won a couple in a row. This game, as of late, has been very competitive, and I feel like it gets weird for a couple different reasons. One, there's no Graham Mertz, probably no Montrell Johnson, too. So this is DJ Lagway getting the reins for the rest of the season. So this is a big first game for that at home against a Kentucky team that has a really tough defense. Two, this is a pretty crucial Billy Napier game because there's not many games the rest of the season that you probably could confidently say – you could look at a game and say Florida has a fighting shot in this game because they have a really tough – the rest of their schedule, really their entire SEC schedule is tough. But this is a crucial game. So I feel like if you're Billy Napier, who already sold the fucking bag by not going for 2 on the road at Tennessee to potentially win that game, you got to bring all the stops out for this one. If there's any solace of saving your job, which, just to be clear, I think it's already gone. But if he has any shot of saving his job, you got to pull out all the stops for this game. So I feel like this is a game. DJ Lagway looked really bad against Tennessee. Much better defense, I would say, all around. But you're also on the road at Neyland as a freshman quarterback and put in middle of the game. Now's where he gets it together. Now's where you see the bag get emptied. I think Kentucky punches them in the mouth early with points, and then Florida's forced to respond. W game script there, and we see points in the game that nobody would expect. And there's Snell getting up and moving.
Snell up and moving at this hour. What up, Snell? That golf swing looked a little. Whoa,
Wow.
20 you
20
Whaler.
Berg.
I guess that golf swing looked great. Looks great.
Little Mahomie.
Let's go, Snell. You're W cell job on that over.
Muted.
I was muted. Aries
Muted.
matching. Shut the
Wow.
fuck up, Aries.
W
Dude,
Aries.
we got band for band, 20 unit sub whales coming in here hot. Who had that on their bingo card for Friday? Not me. Let's fucking go, gents. Let's fucking go, gents.
Aries said, fuck Snell, bro. I'm still here.
Bruh. No, you're a fucking beast, bro. I wish we had a Washington game to talk about this weekend, but they're on a bye, I believe. So Yeah, no Huskies action, but you're a goat. Arius, you're a goat. You guys are fucking awesome. We appreciate you. This is why BTL Fridays are the best. Okay, you guys brought the energy. The chat's been active. And what do you know?
Wow, man, for Ben again.
What do you know? Brent, do something weird, man.
Snell
Do something weird. Bro. Another 20 unit whale.
Wow.
Another 20 unit whale, dude. There's no way. Another 20 unit.
Oh my.
Bro.
But the difference is it's just two guys playing shit that they did in the studio. Niggas usually send their verses back to me and they be terrible just like a 2-year-old.
The fuck is that, bro? Let's go, gents.
Oh,
Let's go, gents.
Legacies.
Holy
20.
Fuck,
Oh my God, another 20,
God.
dude.
20. Fuck.
Another 20.
Dude.
Another
Yeah.
20. There's no way, dude. This is a record. We got goats coming in, dropping fucking hammer sub 20 unit whales.
That's that
Okay.
Cy Young money, man.
Wouldn't expect anything less, right? He's got the bag, right? He's got the bag. He's got the Cy Young. He's dropping the subbies for the peeps. Come on now. Come on now.
And
Let's
Tovar.
fucking go, chat.
And
Bro,
Tovar.
Trent, dude. Trent. That's actually despicable behavior.
Now you're a goat, bro. What do you like in who do you think wins these baseball games tonight, Snell? We've seen some crazy games. Are you still tapped or are you calling it right now? Are you in all season mode?
Imagine if Snell just had a low taper fade and went to the Dodgers.
Dude.
That would be probably cursed.
No, we're brain rotting now.
People forget
Unbelievable.
that what's his fucking name that's playing overseas? That's like Trevor Bauer. People forget that he should be on the Dodgers.
No, he shouldn't.
Probably should.
No, he shouldn't. He probably should have been a couple years ago, yeah, but not right now. Snell said he's in all-season mode, but it's going to be the Dodgers and the Yankees. Yeah, it is. Wow. Yeah, it is.
Dude,
He knows ball.
We still need the Snell Port collab, man.
I know. We need to make that.
We do. Snell, bro, if you're trying to hop on the sticks for 2K, Trent has improved his game. Seriously, he has. If you're trying to run it again.
And he's not the point guard, which is huge.
Yes, that's a massive development as well.
I can't believe
Okay, although
let me do that.
he thinks he's the point guard sometimes. Sometimes he does.
I think so.
He's like the kid on your middle school team, the biggest kid on the team who's like really good, but should be the center, but he thinks he's the point guard. And dribbles the ball up on the court and dribbles like above his head. Yeah. That's our guy over there, Trent. Snell, you're a fucking beast, bro. He said he just got off 2K. Let us know if you're trying to run it anytime soon, bro. We'll hop in there. You got to see Port 2.0. Trent's guy's pretty good. He is. All right. W Snell, W subbies. You guys are fucking goated. Also, do not want to let this one get swept back to Malik coming in, dropping a subby as well. I train level 11. Those don't grow on trees, folks.
No,
those don't grow on trees.
At all.
Let's fucking go. You guys are goated. Yeah, you are an animal, Snell. Keep grinding, bro. All right. Where were we? We were talking about some overs. I think I just went over my Louisville team total. Jovan just went over his Florida and Kentucky over. And we've got Trent on the over that Jovan's on the under it. I need to hear this sell job.
It's basically kind of the same sell job as my last play. Dude, you asked me for fucking totals, man. Like, come
One
on.
player. Just give me one player. Can you give me that at least?
That's the thing, though. He can't.
I know.
Bless his heart. He can't. How about the Baylor coach? You remember the Baldy's name?
He doesn't know the Baylor coach.
You get that one?
Scratching it. It's right there, dude. It's right there. Tip my tongue. I can't get it. No, I can't.
Well, shit. Chat. I don't even know what to say. Let's just move on to the next fucking
I'm
graphic.
sorry, boys.
If I lose these Bergs, I'm gonna be so disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
That would be the funniest shit ever.
A lot of
I'm
pressure.
turning the notice on for these games, even if I don't bet them, because I want to
Me
see how this
too.
plays out.
Me too.
Yeah. I want to see how this plays out. You cannot script it. First fucking 2 graphics for the college football weekend preview. We got 2 Bergs, Jovan versus Trent on the first 2 plays. Insane. OG Sour coming in, giving out some subbies. He's giving out 2 subbies for the people. Let's go, OG Sour.
I'm not
Good
gonna lie,
boy.
dude. I miss Rav in this situation, man. I gotta hear what he's on.
We could have used him. He's got some family stuff going on right now. Okay, but he'll be back on here, I'm sure, next Friday for the college football segment.
Yeah,
Okay.
Way more.
Yeah, that's okay though, Trent. Hey, keep bringing it. We'll talk about some sides here, which I know you have a better handle on. All right, so let's move, let's groove. Let's talk about some blowouts. Let's talk about some favorites. And yes, Chad, I'm doing it again. Give me Arizona. Give me Fafita. Give me a Colorado Fate. That's a 3-piece that I've been leaning on all season, and it hasn't worked once. Not once. Dude, Arizona's still his favorites, though, in this spot? Maybe they should be. Maybe they shouldn't be. I don't know. I mean, they're still getting line respect right now. I don't really get it. But I'll tell you what I do know. It's that Fafita is going to absolutely muck up that secondary, whether Travis Hunter's playing or not. Doesn't matter. He's going to muck them up.
I thought we put Arizona away, Krabs.
We did. But we brought him fucking back for one more fade against Colorado for this year. Arizona wins this game. They're still favorites. I think that's a weird line. With how bad they've looked, come on, man. And if you look at prize picks, it looks like Fafita and McMillan are about to have an absolute field day. After McMillan's kind of cooled off, you know how many yards he's up for this week against Travis Hunter?
How many, Krabs?
How about 109 pace?
Wow.
How about 109 pace? Fafita's almost at 300 passing yards. This game's probably going to go over. Didn't want to get cute and fade it. I don't take unders in Colorado games. They don't hit. And Arizona's offense is due to explode. They haven't all season. It's in there. We've seen it. Against Colorado's defense, when the lights are bright, and when McMillan wants to prove that he's a better receiver than Travis Hunter, I think he absolutely goes off at home, and I'll back Arizona to do something good for the first time this fucking season. Give me the ML.
Sure. Can respect it. Can definitely respect it.
Nasty.
Yeah. You want to talk about nasty? I am taking the UConn Huskies. Which is rad. This is literally the first time since 2016 they have been favorites against a Power 5 or now Power 4 opponent. And it back then was also somebody in the ACC. It was UVA. So like now they're facing Wake, who, I mean, I'll say like the score probably doesn't reflect how decent Wake's been in some spots. Like the Clemson game's a good example. Like they were rather not competitive, but at the same time they did come out early and they looked a lot better than the score like actually indicated. But Hank Bachmeier, really since his Boise State days, I've been so out on Hank Bachmeier. He looks terrible in that offense. A slow mesh, they're not able to use as much as they want. And UConn, for what it's worth, has been much, much better this season, even though they're down their quarterback. Like Joe Fagnano's at the helm instead of Evers, who was actually somewhat decent throughout the season. But I feel like this is a good matchup for them. The defense is going to come out and show out. I mean, the Wake rushing attack has been, I don't want to say non-existent because that's not really the right word to use, but it's been a little inconsistent to the point that like that's why they can't use the slow mesh as much, because defenses aren't really biting because they don't need to. They're making Hank Bachmeier make plays, and I don't think he's going to make the plays. So weird game on the road. We're going on the road to UConn. I think UConn gets the win.
Could not agree more. I'll be tailing this with you. Love the play. Great find. Didn't find this one through my first sweep through the boards. Happy it did. I'll be tailing. Great fucking play. Brent, I know you're not big into the college football surge sixes, but if you're trying to get cute, trying to dabble, trying to change things up this weekend, you could play a little UConn in that surge six for a little Saturday college football parlay potentially there. UConn's a winner. Maybe Texas is too.
I will be looking for some bozo leg pieces because I'm a bit scared of how much this line is crap towards Texas, and definitely cannot be laying ML for a rack on this one. It's going to be like minus 200. But going to this game with Lauren, they've respected coin all year. Georgia has not respected my coin. But I'm just, what I've seen from Texas, they looked fucking awful against OU. Even though they covered and blew them out, they looked really bad. And I'm like sitting next to Lauren, like, you cannot be happy with this game. This is atrocious. She's like, yeah, this is really bad. And apparently their coach came out and said that was a D- effort. So you know that they're coming out this weekend and putting belt to ass on Georgia and making a statement.
Mm.
What do you guys think?
See, man. What do I think about this game?
Yeah,
You know what I think about this game.
I don't. I have no idea.
Somebody in chat said,
you can save it, Krabs, because I know it's coming up here soon. But
okay.
yeah,
All right.
I don't know. I can't ever get myself to bet on a side where I see the perfect storm of this is the liability, biggest liability on a college football side all season tweets.
Dude, I hate that. You're telling me that UT is that situation?
Yeah.
Dude, I try to avoid that as much as I can.
It's the same
They
tweets
are.
that are coming out about the fucking Commanders or the Bengals against the Commanders, not Monday night games. Like, whenever there's that team, perfect storm of everything, it just usually does not go well. And can't catch me betting on that side, but I like points. So I'll be on the over.
That's exactly how I was feeling about the Bills on Monday. Everybody or the books were like, yeah, if the Bills win, this is the worst week of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was ready to chalk it.
Yeah. I mean, that was just an unbelievable square weekend and week for the NFL. One of the people are going to tell their grandkids about. The books got crushed.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to approach this Texas bet, but I probably won't be on that 4.5. Full transparency.
Can't be. Got to be an ML, maybe an ML two-piece Bezo pack. Wouldn't be too hard to find something else. It could be extra juicy, right? It's got to be the ML if you take them, because I really do think Georgia keeps this game close. We'll talk about it a little bit in a moment here.
Could just join with the over. Somebody's saying Georgia score on that Texas defense. I don't know. The statistical best defense or best offense that Texas has played is not even in the top half of college football, and that was UTSA, who just lost to Rice. So, like, let's be for real. Georgia's going to score. And every I don't know, all the big games this year, like Ohio State, Oregon, I guess you could throw Georgia, Bama back in that, like Penn State, USC, like they're all scoring, all points for whatever reason. I don't think that's an accident.
Okay. Well, chat, that's what we got for our favorites on this college football Saturday slate. Arizona, UConn, and Trent is on the Longhorns. Let's move and talk about some dogs, gents. Let's see what dogs are barking this weekend. Jovan, you hinted at this one earlier. I haven't stopped thinking about it since. I haven't been able to sleep at night. I just keep seeing turtles in my fucking dreams. It's the Terps this weekend. Plus 7.5. It's the Terps. It has to be done.
No.
You're playing USC, who's coming off of a Mickey Mouse cover in a game they didn't even fucking deserve to fucking be in my opinion. I think that team fucking sucks. They're so overrated. The Terps are actually playing bad, and they're coming off of 2 bad losses. And they're 3-3 in their home. Not like they really have a home field advantage, but the Trojans on the road here, I am more than willing to fade after you saw USC keep it within a number against Penn State in that last game, somehow, some way. I think Maryland coming off of 2 bad losses, especially an outright loss at home when they were minus 11 to Northwestern on that weekday game last week. You can't lose to Northwestern. They do every fucking year. It's a tale as old as time with Maryland. That's going to piss them off and set them up in this game very well, in my opinion. Buy low on the Terps. Their roster, talent-wise, is significantly better than what you've seen, the product on the field this year, especially on offense. They're coming off their worst game of the season. They're going to at least keep this one within a touchdown against the Trojans, who I think are one of the most overrated teams in college football. Hate to say it. I'm a Miller Moss guy. I really do like him. Hasn't looked as sharp this season as I wanted to hope or hope to expect. Really just hasn't. And coming off that miracle cover, I'll fade the Trojans on the road.
I don't know.
I'm in. This would have been on my spot, but I decided to diversify. I love Maryland. And I will be taking it.
USC has been getting absolutely hoed for what feels like a month and a half.
Have they, though?
Respectfully, I'm fading.
I will be too, I think.
Gooch just hates Maryland, the University of Maryland. He loves everything else about Maryland, though. So it's honestly might throw you off there, but he just hates the Terps.
I don't know.
Brent, man.
I feel like
Maryland's
this
winning
is
this
the game, dude. This is the game they figured the fuck out.
Or
be so
I don't think
wrong.
so.
maybe they're just not this good.
I just don't think they're that good. And I don't think their defense is as good as they played the first couple weeks. I think that's a main fact. Like, Miller Moss is good. He hasn't been playing great. I still believe in that kid. I think he's a great story, great kid. Love that he wanted to stay local. It's been his dream since he was 4 years old to be the fucking USC quarterback, and he accomplished his goal. and he's actually pretty fucking good, but he hasn't looked great this season yet. It's not even the offense that I want to fade. It's their defense that was so overrated through a couple weeks. Their defense is bad. They showed that against Penn State when their tight end turned into Gronk. What's going to happen with Maryland and all their offensive weapons? Look at what Maryland does well. That's produce NFL receivers and produce weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Occasionally on defense, too, to be honest with you. This team randomly has pro players out of nowhere that you never even heard of until they get to the league because their fucking team stinks. But coming off that atrocious loss to Northwestern, it's a mandatory bet and a mandatory fade on the Trojans.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, too, like spot-wise for USC, they've had 4 straight weeks of a Big Ten gauntlet against very physical teams. Like they went to Michigan, choked that game. They came back home. They played Wisconsin, who I think is a little better than people realize, and they were good in that game. Then they went to Minnesota and lost. Came back home, game of the year, blew that game against Penn State. Those are a lot of physical teams. Now you got to go to a team that's going to run with you, and you're going across the country to do it. And the spread is pretty ridiculous. Granted, this team just got blown out by, what was it, damn near 30 against Northwestern, and a guy making his first or second start. I mean, I bet.
Jovan, you want to talk about fucking Rice there?
Rice.
Annalisa Rice?
I mean, yeah. I like Maryland too. They probably would have been here if it wasn't on your spot. This has shit wager of year potential. But I couldn't stop looking at this line because I don't want to bet Rice just for the sake of betting Rice. I got my money last week and I kind of figured I'd be out because they're playing this week, Krabs? Tulane. And Tulane, they are coming off a bye week. And you know what happened their bye? This is similar to Texas Tech, where I feel like they're rolling so big or rolling so well that like the bye week really kind of fucks them up. They scored 157 points in their 3 weeks combined before the bye week, including like their last game before the bye week. They beat UAB by 50. They put up 71 points. So then I see this line open up at like 23.5, 24, and it's starting to creep down and won't really move back towards Tulane, which I think is pretty odd. Granted, how Rice has kind of performed throughout the season, but like last week, I think watching them gave me a little bit of confidence. I mean, they won that game with a crazy last-second play, but EJ Warner looked the best he's looked all season. Granted, like you should against a UTSA team that is absolutely horrendous defensively, but turnovers were their problems. They started to fix some of that. Like everything in the offense looked so much better. And I don't know that Tulane coming off this bye week. It's definitely not a get-up game because you're playing Rice at home, but you know what they have waiting for them next week? A game that could be potentially massive for the landscape of the AAC championship. They got to go to North Texas, who's been really good this season. And they're undefeated in the AAC. Their only loss in the season is to Texas Tech, where they lost by 1 million. Shout out Trent. But that's a big game they got waiting for them on the road next week. So this feels like a pretty sleepy spot where Rice keeps this one randomly close when nobody in the world would expect them to.
The only issue I have with this, which isn't even really an issue because you know how I bet, I think Tulane's actually good.
No, they are. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. So as long as you have that in mind and you're taking this play, and more than down to fade Tulane that's been just absolutely destroying teams in their last couple. I'm in. I think this is what you could buy low on Rice. They keep it within 3 touchdowns. Probably not 1, maybe 2. But Tulane's going to find a way to win this game. It is a huge letdown spot for them, though, and they are 5-1 against the spread this year.
Yeah.
Rice 2-4.
Same way all those like 15.5 lines that moved down have been printing. Cough, like Florida and I guess the Arkansas kind of fell into that. Colorado, UCF. We did the whole spiel last week. Like the ones that are hanging around like the 23, 24 and move down, those have seemed to be the gross ones that nobody really wants that covers and hand up, like Auburn, Georgia, that I was on Georgia, big example of that. So I want to keep taking stabs at all these.
Also loved it when they played last year. Tulane barely beat Rice at Rice. 2-point game. They were -10. Rice played them tough there. I think they play them tough again this week.
Yeah.
Trent, what do you like about the Razorbacks this weekend, man?
Yeah, people don't realize I'm 4-0 on LSU games this year. Fading and riding with them. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of sharp with them. But I was right about last week. Them getting their lick back on Ole Miss at home. And I think this is a look-ahead spot here. They play A&M next week. They're on the road in Arkansas. You know, these games get weird. Can't tell you much about the product on the field. but I just know that this is a very short line against unranked Arkansas. Smells fishy. Square is probably looking at LSU as free coin. I bet.
Yep. Best play so far that I've heard from you. Love this play. I'll probably be on it myself. Let's fade LSU. It's a death wish, right? It's not for the faint of heart. Although they're only 2-4 against the spread, but they've been in a couple of ML spots. LSU coming off of 2 great wins, 2 great covers. But their only real opponent they've faced this season is Ole Miss in that last game. And man, that was a fucking crazy win. You got to sell high. And let's buy low on Arkansas. Sure, I don't love backing teams coming off of upsets. But Tennessee, not as good as we all thought. Arkansas, a little bit better than people thought. Not as much of an upset as that plus 14 spread will show you. Let's back them again at home this week against Brian Kelly and LSU on the red. I'm in.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's fade the Tigers. And let's go 5-0, Trent, on betting LSU games this year. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Sure.
super random.
All right, cool. Mino tape plays. Our favorite college football plays of the weekend. And W gatekeeping, Jovan, what do you know? The Bulldogs were showing up here. Somebody in chat said earlier, have not seen a single Georgia ticket this week. Well, I got one for you, or I will. And I'm going to go ahead and find a nastier way to back Georgia. Okay, what has Georgia done this season that people haven't liked? They come out slow. They're creeping back into games against Bama and shootouts, not looking like a typical Georgia team, coming out strong and establishing a lead. Not the same Georgia squad we've known and loved. And Texas overall this season, more than they typically do. Typically when the lights are bright, Texas more often than not recently bolts, unfortunately. But Texas has been a wagon this season. They're the best team in college football. It's a mandatory fate. And I found a nastier way to take it. Like I said, I'm going to take Georgia in the first half, where they really haven't been good all yet this season in the first half. I'm going to back them and Kirby Smart to get out to a hot start on the road, put Texas on their heels, and then you're going to see the Longhorns creep back into this game late, make it a ball game, but it's going to be the exact opposite of what you've seen out of Georgia all season. Kirby's going to make the adjustments. The team knows they've been coming out flat. I think Carson Beck in Georgia, like Jovan was saying, best offense by far Texas has seen this season. I think Georgia comes out hot, firing. They put up some points early, and then you see Quinn Ewers in Texas. There's a reason why Quinn Ewers has that high-ass passing yard square. I think it's because of garbage time and them getting back in this game, and maybe they pull off a crazy comeback. It would be Texas's year. That would be very fitting if they pull off a crazy comeback, last-second touchdown. But Georgia's keeping this one close, and I think they're up at halftime, but I'll take the couple points.
Wow. Yeah. I can so get in on that, Krabs.
In and out with the first half, bro. I don't need to be hanging around that game. Texas is a really good squad this season, but when the lights are bright and they're playing a good team for once, I think Georgia shows up early, man. I do. Georgia 1-5 against the spread. Texas 5-1. That almost got me to just take the full game. I do like the full game, but I love that first half even more, man. I do.
Wow. That could be a Crab gets in Duff play, dude.
Could be.
Go Dogs. Jovan. Go Beavers.
Late night beef. This is a play that's giving me very much Florida vibes, which hopefully it ends better on the ML. But I think UNLV loses outright in this game, so I will gladly take the touchdown with Oregon State at home. Because you want to talk about look ahead spots, because I feel like there's a lot of them this week, and this one might be the most important because UNLV, they've been really good. I'm a big UNLV supporter. I don't want to fade them very often. Malik Williams is fucking awesome. That offense is absolutely awesome. Ricky White is awesome, but they have their Booper Bowl next week, Krabs, because on a Friday night in front of the entire fucking world, they got Ashton Janty and Boise State coming to town. So, but right before that, you got to go to some late night beef with a team that, to be honest with you, I was pretty impressed with, or have been pretty impressed with, because I thought this team coming into the season, like, they had the potential to bottom out. But in reality, like, this offense has been fucking good. This team has been competitive, and they've won games they probably shouldn't at home. And we already know how Corvallis gets weird a lot of the time, and of course, it's been with better teams in the past. But like, now that offense has been kind of good. Giovanni McCoy has been really good, and he's a nice dual threat quarterback that probably can play similar play style and go band for band with Malik Williams. Like, Anthony Wilkerson has been fantastic in the backfield. This game is probably going to have no shortage of points whatsoever, but it's hard to ignore the spot that's waiting for UNLV next week and the fact they're going to have to go on the road to Corvallis. And what I assume, I mean, it's not really warm anywhere, but it's probably not going to be too warm up there in Corvallis. And this is a dome team going there to do it. So give me Oregon State. I think they're going to be sneaky here and potentially blow up the party before UNLV gets a chance next week.
Yeah. I literally could not have heard a better sell job. That was unbelievable. 2 words, chat. Late night beef. Late night beef. Jovan, I mean, the spot, it's perfect. They just got crushed, or not crushed, but they got upset by Nevada in a very high-scoring game in their last game. UNLV, I mean, they're coming off a blowout against Utah State. It was dog shit. But before that, let's not forget how susceptible their defense was to giving up some passing yards against Syracuse. I mean, they made McCord look like Tom Brady in that game. This UNLV defense, not your mom and pa's UNLV defense. Typically, this team leans on their defense. Not so much this season. They're more of an offensive team. Maybe the beef can hang around, put up some points early, make this game weird, keep it within a touchdown. I'm in.
Yeah.
Late night beef.
Late night
Right?
fucking beef.
I don't know if mom and pa ever had a UNLV defense.
No. Their defense used to be good.
Yeah. It used to be. They used to have some teams out there.
Their defense used to be good. Like a couple of years ago, not even that long ago.
Yeah.
Not anymore. They're terrible. Excited to hear this sell job on the Volunteers.
Yeah, I've been playing this game too long to know that Bama -3 ain't getting paid out, brother. I've been doing this too long. I need to see the stratosphere in which they pay that out.
Here we go.
Yep.
Bama is fucking trash. They almost and should have lost to South Carolina last week. Tennessee, everybody says that their quarterback, whatever his name is fucking moose shit. He's trash. He's terrible. Bama looks free, I'm sure. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know what the game plan is going to be. Somehow, some way, the +3 is coming home.
Tennessee, 1 player.
Dalton Connect.
Almost just choked. I literally just choked. That was the most ridiculous comment I've ever heard. Naming fucking Lakers. Dude's naming fucking players playing with LeBron when Jovan asked him to name a player on the Vols football team. Grow up.
Nico.
There you go. There you go.
Sure. Yeah, you can reach out. Good. I mean, look, Trent, I don't know what to take in this game, to be honest with you. Both these teams have been kind of sketchy. Tennessee has looked pretty bad recently. I don't think they're that good, but not really in the mood right now to back them in this spot against Bama on the road. Bama's beaten them the last 5 times they played. Bama, sure, that last win was sketchy, but I'm a Jalen Milroe guy. I'm with Mikey Overs. I would probably lean Bama, but I'm not going to fade Tennessee with how sketchy they've looked recently. You might have a winner here with the points. I'm glad you're taking them.
Dude, I just think that if I were opening the book and I saw Bama -3 against anybody, I'd normally nuke it. Something tells me it's not hitting.
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, Trent, that's probably a pretty profitable system. So stick with that play, lock it in. Bama does look free. Who wants to back Tennessee after the last 2 games? Probably nobody.
Nobody.
Probably nobody. Bama ranked 7, Tennessee ranked 11. Bama is a favorite, catching a little bit of steam up from 2.5 to 3. You're probably right. Got a weird read on Tennessee right now. Don't love betting them. Hope your read is better.
Could be a god-awful wager. We'll find out.
It could be, but, I do like that point that you're standing on where you open up the book, you click the fucking simplest play that popped in your brain, you faded it, you put Tennessee on here.
Yeah.
I think you stick with that game plan. You're hitting more bets than you're losing. Okay. Jovan, thoughts on Tennessee?
Oh, I'll be on Bama.
Okay.
I mean, that's just a me. That's a me play though. Like I've been standing on anti-Nico for the entire season, and I made coin taking fucking Graham Mertz on the road, damn near on the ML last week. I am not stopping with Bama in a somewhat bounce back spot.
All right. Let's move and groove onto some prize pick squares, gents. And we are We got subbies coming in.
Batgirls 10U subbies.
10 unit subbies coming in from Fat Girls Incorporated. Love to see it. Let's go, FG. Attaboy. We got some follows as well. Deuce, the M-Dog, Tasman, Don Mitch. We appreciate the follows. W's. All right, let's power through these prize pick squares, gents, for college football because we were milking that segment harder than Jovan milks prize picks board.
Yeah, it was built.
All right. Let's power through these real quick. Quick little spark notes, sell jobs. Cam Ward, I thought his rushing yards was really fucking high this week, and it is compared to what he's been doing. And I think that's because he's going to have to use his legs in a game that I think soars over, in a game where I think they might even be losing at times, even late. I lean Louisville in the spread as well. But Cam Ward, who has, by the way, the most popular square in college football for this weekend right now, the day out, is fucking Cam Ward passing yards. All right, now it's fourth. Jalen Milrow passing touchdowns is actually one. That's crazy. But Cam Ward, fourth most popular square on his passing yards. I don't think it's going to be through the air in this game for Miami. I think they're going to have to give the ball to Martinez on the ground. And I think Cam Ward himself, that we've seen in Incarnate Word, we've seen against the Hokies when he needed to use his legs, he is more than capable. That guy's a fucking bulldozer. That dude's a stud on the ground. Talk about Jalen Hurts comp. Cam Ward, you haven't really seen it much this year because he hasn't had to do it. They're 6-0. They're playing some crummy teams. But when he needs to get loose and get those legs up and move, and he does, and he can fucking scramble and break some tackles. I think much like that Kyron Drones read, which I will take that square 10 times out of 10. I don't care that it fucking lost in a crazy fashion. Cam Ward, same exact spot here. I think Louisville in a high score and affair keeps the game close, and Cam Ward does not have as much success through the air as people were expecting with that popular passing yard square. It's going to be the legs for the kids. And then Hank Bachmeier. Jovan talked about taking UConn on the ML. Sure. Love that, Jovan. I'll be tailing that play. And I'll be fading Hank Bachmeier, who's a Mushik quarterback for Wake Forest, coming off of back-to-back games with multiple passing touchdowns. Yeah, not this week against UConn. Looks like one of the easiest squares on the board after Wake Forest offense has been up and moving in recent weeks. Not this week against UConn. Not on the roads. He's not throwing 2 passing touchdowns. He might not even throw 1.
Wow. Love that out of you, Krabs.
Wow.
Love that.
Good. One fun square back in a goat and one square fading a piece of shit quarterback.
Yeah. I
I feel like you guys could get behind this.
Kevin Jennings had, I think, more than 100 against Louisville in that SMU game.
Yeah, I mean,
they couldn't cover him for shit.
That Louisville D-line that we once knew and loved, they're gone, man. They're gone. Cam Ward's going to use his legs in a game that's going to be closer than people think. He's going to have to.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Jovan's here. Very curious to see what he's taken on the college football slate on Saturday for prize picks.
It's been a while since I've been able to actually get in my duff for one of these weird as shit running back receiving yard square. And I think this is it right here because they haven't put up as many of these weird squares this year. So now's the time where I get involved. I guess usually when it involves Michigan running backs, they pan out pretty good. But Khalil Mullings, you want to know what his season stats are through the air, Krabs and Trent? He has a singular catch for 2 yards. That's it. That's it.
What?
And that was 3 weeks ago.
No way.
Singular catch for 2 yards. And his 4.5 receiving yard square is up. Not only when that is the case for his season stats, but in that Washington game that was also before the bye week, Donovan Edwards, the other running back, had a career game. It was his best game overall. He was involved in the receiving game. I think he had 2 catches for like 20 yards, but he also had almost 100 yards on the ground. So that's the best performance that he's put up. So like you're walking into this with a new-ish starting quarterback, like off the bye week. You're on the road against Illinois and they're favored, a game that I think they're going to win. I think this is where we get the super weird square, just like it was with Donovan Edwards in the national championship game, just like I guess game before in the Rose Bowl with Blake Corum. Something's weird about this running back rotation, and I think they're going to come out with a plan off the bye week, and I feel like it's going to be this. You're going to get a very early design play for Khalil Mullings. So I'm 100% in.
Love it. Real quick, Goots, Martians.
Fucking Martians, man. Can't make it up. Really can't make
How
it
do they
up.
do it?
I don't know. They always get here, dude.
Jovan, that is a vintage square from you if I've ever seen one. Vintage.
They haven't been letting me get my duff, dude. They haven't had weird shit up.
Check.
Good.
Tense.
We're good.
Let's go.
W Goods.
Let's go.
Let's hear about Roman Henby and why he's getting paid dirt.
Yes, something else I've been monitoring. A lot of these games where I think there's going to be a decent amount of points. I like the dog in the game. They're decent-sized dogs. And there's a running back touchdown square up or their best player touchdown square up. I've been taking it, especially when they're dogs in the game. Like, Jaden Knott was the perfect example of that. Even though he overall had a shit game, he was the underdog in that game. I thought they're going to have a pretty good chance to win outright. There were points. He had a touchdown square up. He had 2, and he only had like fucking 10 yards on the ground and then a long reception that ended up being the touchdown. But Maryland's winning this game, and I will be joining you on the plus 7.5 and the ML, of course. When that's going to happen, like, granted, you can shred Maryland through the air really all you want, or shred USC through the air really all you want. Billy Edwards, I think, is really not that guy, but you go to your goats. Ty Felton is a goat for sure, but Roman Hemby, I think, is going to have a day. So he's getting in the end zone. I think he's going to have to be the difference maker in that game, especially if they win like we think they're going to. So I will take him to get pay dirt.
Love it. Look, I feel like Maryland got a little bit too cute in recent weeks. Billy Edwards had a decent start to his college career for the Terps, but I think they kind of learned in recent games he might not be that guy. All right, Ty Felton is that guy. They're still going to get him the rock, but I don't think they're going to let Billy Edwards try to win these games alone anymore. After a couple games early on in the season, he looked better. Recently, he's looked like shit. He's been throwing picks, not taking care of the ball. Go back to your goats. Find Roman Hemby. Give him the fucking rock. Establish the run. He's the best player on that fucking offense besides Ty Felton. Both will be involved heavily. Let's hope your guy Roman finds the end zone.
Yeah.
All right. Trent, Prize Pick Squares. What do you got for college football?
Yeah. Jovan's trying to get cute with some running back receiving yards when there's a guy who's green every week.
Okay.
Jaquavian Pork on USC. Honestly, and I love the fact that you guys are so high on Minnesota or whoever the fuck they're
Maryland.
Maryland, yeah. They lost to Minnesota a couple games ago, and that fucking cost me so much fucking coin. But in that game, even too, Jaquavian Pork soared the fuck over. He's just green every week, dude. Every week he's fucking green, and I'm going right back to it. But I love this Gunnar Helm square. This guy's actually a beast. This one is green. I'll put my meat on the fucking table for it. It's already green. You just have to trust. It's green.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gunnar Helm.
This will be my my Bookit with Trent guarantee. I promise this one's green.
Wow.
Every game I go to, this guy gets the rock every fucking play. He's
Hey, when the lights are bright in a big game, night game against a really good Georgia team, go to your safety blanket. Go to your tight ends. You don't need to throw the ball down the field.
No, he's
Gunnar.
always open. He's really good. He should have had an insane touchdown against Oklahoma when I was there last week, but he was fucking grubbing. Hit his demon yards with ease, and I think he goes off again for some short little dink and dunks.
I can't believe you found a way to get Gunnar Henderson and John Pork into the preview.
That is indeed not Gunnar Henderson. Far from him. That dude. This dude
not
actually,
Trent's best.
this dude actually turns green when you need him to.
That is a big
I'll be
difference
safe.
between those two gents. And now Gates is putting his entire run on that lesson. Okay. Well, W squares, gents. We milked the college football plays, but we had a lot to talk about. A couple honorable mentions I want to list off here before we get into the NFL stuff, the good shit. I like West Virginia +3 after they burned all the Sharps last week. I'll be on WU late night over the weekend against Kansas State, who I think is a bunch of frauds. Give me the +3. I didn't hear no bell. Give me the Mountaineers one more time. Cincy -4.5. Jovan, shocked you didn't have it on your card, but maybe it's because you already locked them in. WCLV.
Yeah, a little bit.
Took them on the ML earlier this week. Got a good line?
Yeah. I did not think that would be me trying to be CLV god because the quarterback situation was kind of unknown. But yeah, I think they're winning the game. It's just a crazy move.
I think it's pretty weird to see Kansas laying 5.5 to any team in college football. I know Houston's not great, but Houston has looked better in their last couple games than they did in the beginning of the season. And Kansas, who's 1-5, playing like shit. Daniels looks bad. Their entire team, offense and defense, looks terrible. They're laying 5.5 to Houston. They probably cover that game. They at least win. Weird line. They're getting some respect. And then I like the Spartans +6 at home. Not for the faint of heart. Not a play that most people are going to want to take, but I will fade Iowa after that really good performance last week. When they came through, they respected coins. They cashed for us. They put up 40 points on offense. First time we've seen that ever. I'll take the Spartans at home.
I'm in on that. I like that.
Any other plays you guys want to mention before we move on to some NFL?
I mean, I've got fucking Bozo Paxson, Cal, Michigan, and Cincy all pending now, which is fantastic, but also really weird.
Okay.
And then I, just for standing on business purposes, I'm taking the Utah State New Mexico under.
Okay.
Really bad shit wager potential there, but there's 78 they're going to have to show me.
Quick TCU report from you two gents. They had the latest game of the week, I believe, against Utah. Late night Saturday night, but they're down to plus 3.5. No Cam Rising. That could be the difference for the Frogs.
No.
You're done with them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a non-alum who's not biased at all, I will say that I like TCU on the spread.
Interesting.
Might not get to the counter though, because Utah has also been bad, and they don't have their star QB. All right, but no TCU wagers this weekend from you two guys. No.
There will certainly not be. I don't know if there's going to be a TCU wager the rest of the season.
All right.
You know,
A lot of
what's
ball
gonna
left.
happen? You know what's going to happen? They play Oklahoma State and Arizona, their last 2 home games of the season. They win one of those games for no reason. And then you know what happens? Last game of the season, they go up to Cincy in the cold, guaranteed loss. That's the only time. Those like 3 set of games, only time you're going to see me putting money on or against the Frogs rest of the season.
Okay. Well, those are half the remaining games. So those are a lot.
Well, I was just saying one or 2. I'm just saying this is out of the equation. I'm not taking the Frogs on the fucking road in the cold.
At Utah, the toughest place to play probably in the country, low key.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm with you.
If they win, I'll gladly be happy. But
I'm with you. I don't even know if I'll get to the counter with the Frogs, considering Utah's QB problems. Let's move on to some NFL talk, gents. All right, let's spice things up here. Let's talk about the professionals. Let's tap in. Let's get a little bit more tempo and pace with these plays. Gucci, why don't we go and hop into the intro? Run that puppy. NFL previews for the weekend, chat. You guys know the vibes. We got 5 plays. We got 5 winners each, and then 2 prize pick squares as well from each of us. I'll get it started off with a little Texans team total under for my snooze fest. Jovan said an interesting comment earlier about the Texans. First time this season, they're dogs. Interesting. Instead of fading them, because CJ Stroud just finds a way to fucking get a win at the end of the day, and he's really fucking good. Although I'm fading him in my go well, he really is him. Instead of getting cute and taking the full game under here, and also fading Jordan Love and the Packers, who have cost me so many coins this season and just continue to put up points, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to get cute and fade Houston on the spread. I'm not going to get cute and take this under in the game. I'm going to isolate what I know in one of the weirdest lines of the weekend when Houston is a dog, and I'm going to lean on the Packers defense that I think is still a little bit underrated at home. Okay? I'm going to lean on that LaFleur defense at home, Preston Smith and co., and that Packers defense. It's a little bit better than people expect. That total is dropping down a little bit, but I really just want to fade Houston and that team when they're dogs for the first time this season.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
I can get down with that. Makes sense.
Houston. We're fading them. Yep. Browns and Bengals under.
Yeah, they're going to have to show me at this point. Bengals have shown you, I guess, a good bit, even though they struggled against the Giants on the road. Weird Sunday night game, but when they get into these AFC North divisional games, the Ravens game, I guess, 2 weeks ago being the one outlier, I feel like defensively it's always super tight. And now you have a Browns team on the other side that's without Amari Cooper. So maybe you're buying too much bad news, whatever. I think they're going to be okay. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I don't think that's going to be able to come with points. This kind of feels like a similar script that the Browns, if they do want to win and keep this close, which I think they might, I think you might think that too. It's going to have to be a pretty similar script to like what they did against the Eagles, which was a lot of clock management. Like the defense was good. The defense is playing a lot better, I would say, the last couple of weeks than we saw at the very beginning of the season. So I feel like it's going to be a defensive struggle. Slow game. If Deshaun wants to throw together fucking 30 points and be the leader of that offense without Amari Cooper, I'll probably have to pay to find out.
Yep. If that happens, then that is fucking absurd, and that's not going to happen. I think if anything happens, maybe Nick Chubb, who's returning this week, ends up being healthy as an ox and carries this offense somehow. I think that's the only way some bullshit happens against that atrocious rush defense for the Bengals. And I love the Browns, and I love the under. Great play. Great play. Brent, little Dolphins and Colts under. Fading AR-15 in his return.
Oh, I didn't even know he's making a return. If that's the case, I fucking
Rumor has it.
I
Rumor has it,
love
yes.
I was a bit scared of this play because before the stream started, I saw that the Dolphins team totals 20.5, and they're yet to score 20 this year. Full season
Okay.
without scoring 20, which is a bit scary. Kind of tells me the Dolphins probably win this game, and I kind of know for a fact they're going to win this game because the Colts always lose after they sell the surgical six, just system play. But similar to what Jovan said, I just need to see it. I need them to show me how they can put 45 on the board.
Yep. Agreed. Like the play. Love the Dolphins on the spread more, but I like the play. I do. Think you're on the right side there.
They got Richardson starting and no Jonathan Taylor. Come on, show me.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Look, the Colts have to be faded in some capacity this week. Maybe it's fading their team total is the best way to take it under in this game. Kind of weird you're talking about the Dolphins' high team total this week, but Dolphins showed me something last week, at least minimally, at the end of that game when they pulled out that win. Wasn't really impressive.
This is also in the Weekender cheeser teaser Chelly and I cooked up.
Okay.
So that's why I like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm super down to fade AR-15 in his return to the fields, and I wish he returned last week when I absolutely nuked the Titans. That would have been nice.
That would have been great.
Let's move before I get more pissed. Let's talk about some overs that we like this weekend. Full transparency, I like Jovan's over better, and I would have put that on there if he didn't have it already. But I do like some points in Vegas and LA as well. I think the Rams put up some points after a bye week. I will trust Sean McVay getting that offense up and moving, getting Matt Stafford ready after a nice extra week of rest, getting him healthy. Rumor has it Cooper Kupp might be back as well. That could be huge. Probably no Puka, but maybe we see Kupp. But even if we don't, I mean, Kyron Williams will be out there as well. They're going to put up some points against the Raiders. And like Jovan, I think is going to talk about here in a moment, I don't think the Rams cover this game or win big necessarily. I do think the reason why this over is such a good look is mainly because this game is going to be closer than people expect. And the Raiders, post-trading Devontae Adams, when nobody wants to touch him with a 10-foot pole, I think their coach, who's a big motivator, Pierce, gets those boys riled up. They show up and they put up some points in this game. And it's going to lead LA to have to, follow suit and put up some points as well against a no shit defense. And they will be more than capable after a bye week of doing that. Not saying I like the Rams on the spread. I don't. I honestly probably lean Vegas. But I think that's a good thing for the over. The closer this game is, the more points we're going to see, in my opinion. I think it'll be very back and forth, shootout type.
I'm in on that. More from the Raiders, hopefully. But yeah, your Commanders, maybe it's, I don't know, one of the more obvious ones of the week between one of the two that we have on the bottom here. But I have to lean into it. Panthers are very willing to get into shootouts with teams just because, I mean, they're in a spot where who gives a fuck what they do at this point, but the defense is super banged up, especially a lot of that's come from the defensive line. So they're getting next to no pressure on any quarterback, which if you're Jaden Daniels and that Cliff Kingsbury offense, I mean, that is a fucking dream. So, I mean, Jaden Daniels is going to be able to do literally whatever he wants at any point of this game, whether it's with his legs, whether it's through the air, whether it's just short, small passes. That's been the crush of that offense. So, I mean, I don't think there's an avenue to the Panthers defense really stopping the Commanders, but I do think there's an avenue to them going band for band with them on offense a little bit because they are willing to open up the game. I think the problem with a lot of these teams, I don't know, that you're expecting to get in shootouts with the Commanders, like not name the Bengals because they did it pretty well, but like the Cardinals, for example, like they were leaning on the ground game, I think a little too much to where they opened it up late enough to where it didn't matter. Like the Browns did that for a little bit too. Not that they're some offensive juggernaut, but the Panthers are very willing to open it up from the start. It's like I think Chuba is going to have his fair share of game, but like Dalton's going to sling rock to Deontay Johnson and Leggett. I think they all have really good matchups. So I think it's a game that is a very obvious looking shootout, but I want to lean into it because I do think the Panthers are going to show some life.
I unfortunately do as well. Anybody take a peep at that Andy Dalton passing yard square that's up on Prize Picks? It's high as ma.
I do see
it's high as ma. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But look, I mean, that spread is up to 9.5 for the Commanders. So that is some serious respect for them coming off that loss to the Ravens where they did look solid. Not going to be getting cute fading the Commanders this week, but I do like the over. I will be tailing that with you, Jovan. Love points. And I don't think it's going to all come from Washington.
Yeah. And you know what that means now? If they're up to 9.5, that means they're officially the biggest favorite of the week.
That is not good.
Has been
they win this game now.
They've been cake outright a lot more than they haven't. The biggest favorite.
You're right.
Week. So we'll see.
Not worried about the Commanders losing outright, but I would not be shocked if Carolina covers and keeps it close.
I feel like it'll be close for whatever reason. I feel like you'll be sweating early. Maybe the Panthers jump out like a crazy long touchdown to start and they crawl back.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Andy Dalton might carve up our secondary this week. Shit. All right. Trent, looks like we've got the over in Seattle and Atlanta. I like this play. What do you like about it?
Yeah, we got two high-scoring offenses, two quarterbacks who I think lead the league in passing yards. I just don't see how there's not going to be a billion points in this game. What concerns me is I know the Seahawks have been talking about taking some pass attempts away from Geno Smith because he's been throwing the ball 40, 50 fucking times a game, and that's just not how they're going to win games, which concerns me in terms of chewing clock. I know it's a short spread, but I still think that that the Falcons are going to pull this one out. It's going to be a shootout. Geno's going to be fighting for his life. This could be the perfect game to do a classic Geno Smith 6-man game stack with his pass attempts and a couple of receivers yards, but definitely the tight ends too. But I just don't see how there's not going to be a billion points in this game.
Totals up from 48. Look at line up 3 points. Should be a shootout. Should be close.
This is also
like
in
the
the
play.
cheeser.
Okay. W's. If people want to tail that, is that going to be on socials today or is it already on there?
I'll post it, yeah.
W's. I'm sure some people out there want to tail that weekend bender. All right. I've seen worse plays, right, Jovan?
Yeah.
On that over?
Hell of a lot worse plays.
Need Bijan. Please.
I mean, yeah. And to be honest, you talked about maybe Geno not having as many pass attempts this game. You need Kenneth Walker. Get him up the middle.
Well, he was talking about the go well, but
Mm-hmm.
for sure, if this is a shootout, which I kind of lean with Trent saying it is, guarantee Algier scores. Literally guarantee. If this game goes over, Algier scores.
Well, wouldn't that be something?
I could care less who scores. Just
it doesn't matter.
Bijan the ball.
Give him the ball. Give him the rock. All right, let's move on to the next plays here, Gatesy. Take us home. Take us to some favorites, some blowouts, some teams we think we don't see a chance of them losing a game. I'll take the Jets. Maybe not the crabbiest play off the rip back in the Jets, with the acquisition of Devontae Adams, sure. But, I mean, you got Russell Wilson filling in for Justin Fields, and people are acting like the guy can't fucking throw the football right now. I don't think he did as bad as people are acting. I don't know if Russ plugging in against the Jets defense that woke up a little bit of times last week is the right answer, to be honest with you. I feel like the way to beat the Jets this season is on the ground. I don't know why they wouldn't have kept Justin Fields in there for one more week. I feel like they'd have a much better chance of putting up points, moving the ball if they had Fields in his legs, moving the rock against that Jets defense. It's given up some runs to some QBs this year. Passing-wise, they're pretty fucking nails. Sauce Gardner, Co. overall, although they've had more penalties than they should this season, they've been solid enough. And I think on the road with this total dropping down from 43 look-ahead line to 38.5, with the addition of Devontae Adams, it's not going to be a shootout, but that doesn't matter for the Jets. They're going to win this game. The fact that they're favorites on the road in this spot, coming off of multiple losses against a 4-2 Pittsburgh team that never fucking loses at home, gets line respect at home, to me is fucking wild. It's crazy. Give me the Jets coming off of 3 straight losses. I typically don't do this, but Aaron Rodgers getting his guy back in Devontae Adams could be the difference in this game. Could be the difference. Not saying he's going to put up 120 yards and a touchdown in his debut, but I am saying that he's going to get a couple clutch first downs, and he's going to move the needle. He will.
Yeah. That's a fucking insane game. Insane game.
That doesn't feel like a Krabs play.
What do you guys think about the line in that game? Do you think it's weird that the Jets are favorites? And I know that it's getting steamed back to Pittsburgh. It's down to 1.5 now, but do you think it's weird the Jets were favorites on the road in Pittsburgh, a team that really never loses at home?
You could say so, I guess.
I did. I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird. But look, the Jets get line respect, right? They got line respect last week, and it was fake sharp. So who knows? But I'll go back to the well with the Jets and Aaron Rodgers.
Respected. Rav boots on ground too, so system.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Let's hear about the Vikings.
Yeah. Probably a play that I don't make too often either because it says the undefeated Vikings, but this does happen to be the week where for whatever fucking reason, maybe it's because the Vikings people forgot about them because they didn't play last week on a bye week, or during that bye week they saw the Lions go and put up 50 damn near on the Cowboys and absolutely destroy them in that game. But you have like 70+% of money on the Lions on the spread and the ML, which is really odd to me. Nobody's really respecting the Vikings, which I think is really crazy considering not only are they coming off a bye, but you're getting Brian Flores in this defensive bye week. Granted, it's to prepare for a really damn good Lions offense, but Brian Flores has thrown looks at every single offense this year, and it's been different shit. It's been confusing shit. It's been rocket science if you are a person that is into X's and O's. And now you get a whole bye week to prepare for a quarterback whose numbers dip dramatically when they face any sort of pressure. He is going to dial up some of the most devious shit he's dialed up in his entire coaching career. So is it scary the Vikings are undefeated? Yes. Are they going to stay that way? No, probably not. Maybe their crazy sell job comes next week when they're on Thursday Night Football on the road against a team nobody probably thinks they're going to lose to. But I think it's them this week, and I will continue to ride the wave. So give me the Vikings.
Love the sell job. Don't love the play is where I'm at with that one.
I don't think anybody does. So I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Trent, thoughts on the Vikes versus the Lions?
Oh, you'll find out in a minute.
About the Commanders. Look at that. Trent back in my squad. That should go well.
Full transparency, I will not be putting U.S. currency on this spread.
Okay,
but
thank you. Good.
It is in the cheeser, and I wanted to put something that I actually have coin on and sell it. But -8 feels like a disrespectful spread, and I hate the number 8 as a fucking line. But 8 points, dude? What? I mean, somehow I feel like the Commanders are going to find a way to lay cheeks against the Panthers. We need a legacy game on the ground from Daniels. But I just need to see the Panthers show me something. But we got -1 in the cheeser. So that's what I'm going to be rooting for this weekend. That 8 is a crazy line. You guys seemed pretty confident that it's 9 now. No fucking way, dude.
I was say, where'd you get that fucking number on Fliff? They're up to 9.5, 10.
No, they were 8 when we started this.
They were 8 when we fucking came on.
So I remember looking for the total, and I also saw 8.
I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. I was just trying to make a joke.
That's a crazy line, dude. Crazy line.
Yeah. It's getting, I mean, there has to be an injury issue or something here with that line moving up to almost 10. There has to be something going on. I'm sure I can find out pretty quick after this as well. That's weird.
Just go win the game. That's all we need.
Yeah. For the cheeser. Sure.
Will the Commanders also be in the search?
I don't know. I haven't cooked it yet. It's pretty gross. Pretty gross slate. A lot of heavy.
I mean, now that they're up to fucking 9.5, like, what are they even going to do for the surge sex? -350 in there, -400.
He's put Cowboys when they're -17.5. I remember this clear as day.
Yeah, but he knows that's not smart. He knows that's not smart.
He'll do it if he believes in it enough.
That was a sweat of a lifetime.
Yeah, it was a close ass game. All right. W blowouts. And W Commanders love. All right, we'll see how it plays out. Let's move on to some upsets, gents. Let's talk about some upsets and dogs we think are going to be barking this weekend in the NFL. And I'm taking maybe the nastiest play, although it's probably head to head with the fucking Titans, getting 9.5 against the Bills. But you can make an argument that the Browns is just as nasty at home after getting rid of Amari Cooper, with how fucking bad Deshaun Watson and this entire team, every single fucking aspect of this team, offense, offensive line, QB, running backs have been hurt, receivers stink. Defense, it's been really good in years past, has let them down. Secondary's been getting hurt. D-line, Myles Garrett, where the fuck are you, man? Not doing shit. But there's still a lot of ball left this season, boys. And I'll tell you what, Kevin Stefanski, he might not have coached his best so far this season, but he's not done yet. And at this point, he's starting to coach for his fucking job. Deshaun Watson, he's playing for his fucking job. These gents are getting a win soon, and against the fraudulent Bengals and a defense that's actually hard. Terrible. Not even saying this game goes over, but I'm saying the fact that the Bengals defense is this bad, it gives me at least a little bit of hope that the Browns can move the fucking rock. And with Nick Chubb back, that could be the difference against this Bengals defense. I'll take my chances with the Browns, and with all the hate they've been getting, not only just this week, but this season. I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game outright against the overrated, fraudulent Bengals.
I'm in on that.
Nasty. Let's hear about the Raiders.
You tailing, Trent?
I don't know.
Bengals is going in the third 6. Let's hear about the Raiders.
The Raiders. I mean, this is probably up there for nastier bets of the week, too. You got the Raiders who just traded Devontae Adams. Now, Jacoby Myers might be hurt and not playing. You get Sean McVay off a bye where he's fucking Superman, and Cooper Kupp might be coming back, too. No chance the Raiders keep this competitive with Aiden O'Connell at the dish, right? I think they do. And I think they honestly might win this game. And I think the Raiders are going to be very competitive. Chelly's always nailing the head with it. I'll give him credit for that. He might not have the best X's and O's knowledge of football, but he will tell you one thing, and that's the Raiders will come out and win when you expect them not to, and they will lay a fucking egg in all the spots they should or shouldn't. And they just laid a couple of eggs in a row against teams that I was shocked the games weren't nearly as competitive as they were. But even like dating back to the Ravens game, they won for absolutely no fucking reason. This is a pretty similar spot against a team that everybody thinks this is their get right spot. They got healthy, they're off a bye. You got their star potentially coming back. You got Stafford who's due for a bounce back game, and a Raiders team that's completely depleted. They're going to come and they're going to compete in this game because this is a spot where nobody expects them to, and this is the spot where the Raiders thrive. So even if it's fuck it, Brock Bowers down there somewhere, excuse their whole offense to begin with, I think that's going to work against this Rams defense. So give me the Raiders.
We got Gib 33 TV coming in with a resub. Let's go, Gib. Sure we can. Love to see that.
Raiders are also in the cheeser.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. Love that. Great play, Jovan. Love that one. Nasty. No one else is betting it. They just traded Devontae Adams. Sign me up. Sign me up. Trent, Lions. Getting 1.5. You might need it.
Yep. This is I need to see it from the Vikings type of bet.
They're literally undefeated.
I know they're undefeated, but the Lions are a fucking wagon. They looked phenomenal last week. I know they're coming off a 50-point win in Dallas, but they just looked so good on offense, running the ball, throwing the ball, field goals were going in, everything about it. I know they lost Hutchinson. The defense looked really good leading up to that. I just need to see it, dude. I need to fucking see this Lions team lose. I need to see it. I feel like it's been a while.
Think you met the Vikings there, but yes. Mission accomplished.
No, I need to see the Lions lose, bro.
Oh.
They looked way too good to lose again. Or to lose this game coming off that huge win. They looked way too good. I feel like they're just so in sync. They're so clicked right now. Everybody's getting the fucking ball. Goff is so dialed. Goff is so fucking dialed. I need to see it.
Vikings have literally covered the spread every game this season.
And I need to see it. Show me it.
Okay. All jokes aside, I actually am with you on the Lions. I lead the Lions. I like them. I'm not with you on this one. Definitely not betting it after this segment. And I will root for both you gents. Hopefully you can make out with a bandit and make out like a bandit, and the Vikings win by 1. And you guys both win. But this game is sketchy, and I lean the Lions. And I lean Jared Goff, even after that big win. I'm with you.
I just I need to see the Lions I just don't see how they fumble this fucking game. I really don't.
The Vikings defense has been nasty.
No solar system, no galaxy. Just from what I watched on the field in the end zone last week, I was just watching and thinking, I don't know who stops this team.
Yeah, they're firing on all cylinders right now. All cylinders. They look great. Vikings undefeated. Sam Darnold didn't look great in that last game. Their defense has, though. I'm with you on the Vikings. Or I'm with you on the Lions, excuse me. But I certainly am not betting this game anymore, I don't think. I'm scared. We'll see. I even thought about taking the under in this game, but that total's up. And I feel like maybe it's just a square over that's max again this weekend. I don't have the guts to take the under in this one. But I lean that way. We'll see how it plays out. All right. Meat on Tage. Let's get to them. Favorite plays of the weekend for NFL Sunday. And there they are. Sorry, Trent. PTSD. Wow. Trust me, I lost coins and I have it too. I'm not happy about it either. Dude, it is what it is. I didn't hear no bell. I know we were at the fucking Super Bowl. right? We were there. I got the fucking jacket on and all. I know we were at the Super Bowl. We're watching the fucking 49ers blow a game to the Chiefs at Circa, and we're in Moose Shib. We're losing thousands. I get it. But like you said earlier today, if you thought you get the Chiefs at plus chicken in the Super Bowl, wait till I tell you they're undefeated this week. They're playing a 49ers team that's not healthy, doesn't look good, doesn't have a good record. They're 500. And once again, the Chiefs are underdogs against the 49ers. Yeah, I'll fucking do it again. I'm not scared. I'll nuke the 49ers at home against the Chiefs. They hand them their first loss of the season. Nasty. Who still has the nuts? Who is sharp enough and has the cojones to put real life units on this shitty 49ers team, as banged up as they are, as bad and toxic as they've been all season? Who's got the nuts? Not many. I'll do it. I got the nuts. 49ers win this game.
Love it from you, Krabs. Trent, it's really actually just soft that you're not joining in.
You're kind of being soft. Not gonna lie.
Really
You're
soft.
kind of just keeling over and dying and giving up and saying Mahomes is the GOAT, and you're kind of being soft.
I need some sort of business stood on. Even if you were to say, fuck it, they're giving me Mahomes a plus trick again, I'm going to take it this time. You got to stay on some sort of business in this game.
Well, let's just wait to see the surge.
Okay.
No way this game's going in the surge.
It's the last place that you go. Be a straight bet nuke. Be a straight bet whale. That's out of all the options I just thought of where it could go. That's the last one. Fuck. They're winning that game, though, Trent. Take them. Take them. Let's get our fucking lick back. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. Fuck Travis Kelce. And fuck Taylor Swift. We're getting our lick back. We're getting our lick back. All right. Seahawks.
Oh, wait, never mind. Jovan, go ahead.
Seahawks. The Falcons just came off of their little NFC South gauntlet where they played pretty much 3 straight track meets against the Panthers, Bucks, and the Saints, all in a row. And we've all seen the offense that they're capable of in that game. I don't think there's going to be any shortage of that necessarily because it's a high total. Trent talked about he likes the over. I don't necessarily disagree, but the one thing I certainly want to bank on, a Geno Smith bounce back game. Everybody was pissed because they nuked him because it was his fucking birthday and he was absolute dog shit. Now he gets to go to Atlanta indoors where he might be a little Jared Goff Jr. because when he plays indoors in a dome, I mean, his numbers have been great. I can think of a couple games off the top of my head where that's been the case, but I feel like this is going to be a pretty fun little chess match because you have OC Ryan Grubb who's getting fucking phone calls from DK Metcalf from down on the field telling him to throw the ball past the sticks. And now you got a Falcons team that, frankly, you beat them with the run. That's what everybody in the NFC South has done the last couple of weeks. But once they get in the red zone, they're susceptible to some deep shots, which is why, the Bucks. Well, the frustrating part about that game is the Bucks were never at the goal line. They were always all their touchdowns were super long. So we never had a chance for Rashad or Bucky at the goal line, which was frustrating. That's kind of been the story with them. They get gashed in the run, sure, you look at that, but the secondary, that's kind of their calling card, is a lot more vulnerable than people realize. So now's where I feel like Geno on the road, after a really disappointing performance in primetime that everybody got to fucking see, he's going to come back with some shots, especially to DK after he was fucking bitching. So give me the Seahawks after the Falcons just pulled through in the gauntlet, going 3-0 against their own division, which was huge for their chances in the playoffs and win that division. They drop one right before they go back to Tampa for the rematch. Give me Geno +3.
Wow. Good margins.
Would love to hear the steal or sell job. Would love to hear it.
Would love it.
Checks.
Sunday Night Football. Mm-hmm.
Checks and balances. All right. I'm so fucking confident, Krabs, that the Steelers win outright on Sunday Night Football. I don't know what it is you've seen from the Jets that makes you want to back them. I don't know why people bet them last week or on Monday, but Rodgers is a fucking fossil. This team's in shambles. The Steelers are a wagon at home. It's going to be a gross fucking game. And I'm going right back to fading the Jets. Right back to it. Oh, but does Trent even know that Russell Wilson's the starter, Rusty Russell. You think he's just been sitting on the sidelines all season, not doing shit? No, he's been fucking grinding his ass off, trying to get his chance. And now here it is. And I think he makes this team way better. I really do. I love Justin Fields, but he's a moose shit quarterback in terms of passing the ball in the pocket. Give me Russell Wilson to prove so many fucking people wrong. He's a disgusting quarterback. Trust me, I loved fading him all last year. But I think he's so much better than Justin Fields. And the defense is going to be such a problem, not allowing Rodgers to escape the pocket. He can hardly even do that anymore, and that's his fucking bread and butter. So
It was.
I don't know. I don't know how the Jets are going to scrape together a win in Pittsburgh on primetime. I just don't know how they're going to do it. Everybody's so high on Devontae Adams and the new shiny toy. I fucking bet. If anything, it's just going to cause turmoil.
Right. Adding his best friend, helping the offense is really going to fuck that offense up.
Yeah, because then you got fucking Garrett Wilson getting 3 receptions. And
he's going to bitch anyways. What you said that I loved, and it surprised me a little bit, but I think you're 100% right with Russ. I do. I think everything you said about Russ is true. Now, I think he's going to have one hell of a time making his season debut against the Jets defense that I'm very high on, and I think is underrated still. I think that's a tough-ass matchup against a defense that'll give up the run a little bit, but the pass, not so much. I think Russ will improve this team, will take the Steelers to the playoffs, and prove all the doubters wrong this season, Trent, 100%. 100%. I talked about this on BTL earlier this week. Anybody heard or seen anything from Russ in the last 2 years? No.
Yeah, you did talk about that.
He got a little fat, happy, complacent. He started doing some ads, making some jokes, making some posts, thinking he's funny. He's really not, to be honest with you. Not at all. The fucking commercials are weird as heck. I think he got a little complacent, wasn't really locked in. But this guy's smart. He's a great football player, a great leader, a great guy overall. He might be a cornball, but he is. And he knows that he fucked up. He knows that he wasn't as locked in. And he's been silent as a church mouse for the last year or two. Haven't heard a peep out of him on socials from anybody else. No commercials, no bullshit, no nothing. And he is going to prove people wrong. But it's going to be later on this season. It's not going to be this weekend in his first game.
You know what I think the underrated part of this is? Because people just think Tomlin is making the change just for no fucking reason. Like, this is a weird time to do it. You know why it's not a weird time to do it? Because they have this Jets game, they have a Giants game, then they have a bye week before the gauntlet of their season starts. So I feel like this is a tryout period. So I don't think Russ has really any time to figure it out. I don't think this is going to be his team if he doesn't perform immediately, because I think this is exactly what it is. So I don't really know where my head's at in that game, but I don't know that he has the luxury of not figuring out in these couple weeks, because I figured by the bye week, Tomlin's probably making a decision for the rest of the year.
You're thinking he might only have 2 weeks.
I think that's the reason why he's going to him now when they're 4-2 and they've been playing really good ball. They need to figure it out before that dog shit part of their season, probably the hardest end of the season I've seen in NFL history, starts.
Right. While they're focused on that, I'll be focused on betting the Jets as favorites on the road when they've lost 3 games in a row and are missed shit. And that's music to my fucking ears. I love that. Keep them distracted. Keep them trying out shit as Aaron Rodgers gets his best friend back and that offense levels up. I like the Jets. I like the Jets a lot this weekend. We'll see how it plays out. See how it plays out. Should be a really good Sunday night football game for the first time in a little bit. We're due for one of those. Okay. Gosh, man, I'm excited. And I still believe in Russ, just not this week. And great points from Jovan as well. Could be a tryout. All right. Prize Pick Squares. Let's get to them. Let's power through, and then we're going to get to the squad rides here, gents, to get you off of here. This has been a Megalodon BTL. Great job. Good episode. Great plays. Let's finish strong here. And I already mentioned Andy Dalton passing yards. It's high as muck for a reason. Like the over in this game, like points. Think that maybe even the Panthers can cover, maybe even just keep it close, right? Especially now that they're getting 9.5 points. Jesus. Andy Dalton is going to put up some yards through the air against our secondary that has looked much better in the last 2 weeks, but nobody's expecting them to do shit. Or nobody's expecting them to suck against Carolina this week after they've improved greatly the last 2 weeks at home. Even, Lamar got his through the air. I mean, Zay Flowers grubbed against us. what's going to change this week, even with Andy Dalton and some pieces that aren't as good? It's not going to matter. And in garbage time, when the Commanders are up 10, 15, 20 points in this game, Andy Dalton's going to cook. And I don't think it's going to be a Chuba Hubbard game like it's been a lot of this season. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball nearly as much. I know we're missing Jonathan Allen now for the rest of the season. That's huge for the Commanders defense. Huge L. He was a captain. He was a leader. But he's also kind of been playing like shit. And now we're going to put in Johnny Newton, who's a run stuffer, absolute beast. I don't think Carolina's going to be able to run the ball at all in this game. I think Deron Payne, I think Johnny Newton, that D-line, they stuff him and they make Andy Dalton beat him through the air. And he soars over his passing yards in garbage time. And then Matthew Stafford, kind of like I talked about earlier with this over in the game. I mean, take a peep at the chart as well. It could not be more red. This guy hasn't hit this all fucking season, and coming off a bye, he will. Cooper Kupp may be back. That could be pivotal. That could be the difference. We know he loves to find him in the end zone. I think Matthew Stafford's throwing at least 2 in a high-scoring game, back and forth. This is an alt-over spot. If you're into that kind of thing on the books, looking to take a higher total at plus chicken, this could be the one you take because Matt Stafford's throwing a couple passing touchdowns this week for the first time all season.
Wow. That could be the difference. I'm in.
Sure. Jovan, let's go to your squares, my man. What are you cooking up over there?
Can start with Geno. 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's had 1 in every single game this year. And of course, like you'll see the chart and see that it's super red. But the Falcons, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, I don't think they've given up a rushing touchdown to a running back yet, which that's not to say that Kenneth Walker isn't going to get one and he can't get one because I think he does because I think there's points in this game, plenty of them from the Seahawks, but it's because they're a bend don't break defense, which is why the Bucs were trying to score before they even got in the red zone, and that's why all the NFC South teams have done just the same. They get gashed on the run throughout the field, but once they get in the red zone, they tighten up, really play close to the line, and bring the safeties down, and that's where they get burned over the top. So Ryan Grubb, who also, like, he sneakily has to bring out the tricks because his quarterback for his offensive system at Washington was Michael Penix. So you can tell there's some secrets being shared there. He's got to come out with all the stops, especially with DK bitching. He's catching a bomb, and Geno's getting another one somewhere in there when they score a lot of points in this game. So taking him to get 2. Brock Bowers, line's going to move because Jacoby Myers got called out or is doubtful now. There's not a number under 99.5 that I would not take for Brock Bowers this week. So whenever that reopens, we'll be once again locking it in. The Rams already suck covering tight ends. He's the only option for that offense, really, with Jacoby Myers in the fold, too. And I think they're going to win this game. It ain't going to be because Alexander Madison's having a day or Aiden O'Connell is fucking Lamar because he doesn't run. It's going to be because Brock Bowers has like a Kelsey-type stat line, which he's already starting to do a lot this season now that he's the guy in that offense, the guy in the fold. He's going to absolutely grub. Call it square, call it what you want, but it's the only way they stay in that game. And obviously, I think they have a good shot to win.
So I've now traded for Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley, and Jacoby Myers in the last 3 weeks in the one league I'm sucking in right now. And those guys, I mean, Cortland Sutton last night didn't do shit. Calvin Ridley didn't do shit the other nights. And then now I'm hearing chat, excuse me, Jacoby Myers is about to be out this week? Are you kidding me?
That's rad.
Jovan, Brock Bowers is about to get 200 yards. Who else is getting the fucking rock? Nobody.
Well, Ridley's getting 400 plus.
Probably, yeah. I'm going to start him again this week.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. Has to be done. Jovan, love the squares. Let's see where Brock Bowers reopens. Was that at 60.5 this morning when you put it in? Okay. Definitely going to reopen higher. Whatever number it's at, literally doesn't matter.
Shouldn't open that much higher. It would probably be like a
70 maybe.
I would assume it's probably in the 60s still, but maybe a couple yards difference.
All right. Love those squares. Let's go to Trent's. See what he's crafting up for NFL Sunday. Ooh, a little revenge narrative here. Okay.
Super goats.
Okay.
The Goober gods. I just watched CeeDee Lamb lose by 50 and finish with 90 plus against this Lions defense. So I don't know how to say what I want to say without saying the forbidden phrase, but fuck.
Just say it at this point.
You got to have another line.
I need to see Jay Jetta's. I need to see the world. He doesn't get this, man. I think this game's going to be a shootout. I think he's going to be getting the rock all fucking game, and he's going to be grubbing. He's going to be grubbing. Rumors of Saquon getting bumped down, horrendous vibes.
Yep. Could
But-
not be worse. And that spread is inching towards the Giants.
But we got a revenge narrative here. First time back in New York. How are we not taking Saquon, man? We know that
I can't even
Jalen
mad at
Hurts
that.
sucks. What?
So I can't even get mad at you for taking him, like
Yeah.
regardless of bumps or whatever. That's one where you hang your hat on it.
Yep. I might
There it
use
is.
my two hat tips on these
Yep.
two squares here.
Go ahead and cash him in.
Yeah.
Go ahead and cash him in. And honestly, dude, like I'm starting Saquon in my DFS league this week. It's square. I don't care. Even if he doesn't go over his yards, I think he gets at least one touchdown, maybe two. Not expecting a ton of runs in there or a ton of points in that game, but I mean, are the pettiest motherfuckers I've ever. They care more about trolling and pissing off the other teams and looking smart and doing stuff different and being stubborn and in their own way than they do care, but more about winning. This team is petty as fuck, and their coach should be fired. He's a bitch. Sirianni, he stinks. Not a good coach. Not good. I'm out on him. And Siri's yelling at me now. Gosh, man. Saquon, as square as it is, he's coming through. But it is square as fuck, and everybody's going to be on it. And it's getting
Still pretty
bumped
good.
down?
Yeah.
You still think it hits, Javon?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Only coach pettier than Sirianni is Dan Campbell. Yeah, but I like the way Dan Campbell carries himself with it, though. I feel like Sirianni's like the guy who gives you the fucking L and hits that Fortnite dance on you across the sidelines. Dan Campbell just gets his guys hyped up. He's an alpha. Sirianni, beta. Let's move. Let's groove. We did the prize pick squares. Honorable mentions for NFL this weekend before we wrap up. I don't know if I can do it, gents, but the Titans plus 9.5 are looking at me funny.
Yeah.
They're looking at me funny.
Didn't want to say it, but
They'll win outright. Don't worry.
They're certainly probably going to cover. Plus 9.5 against the Bills, coming off that big win. I might have to do it. Chiefs and 49ers under 47 I also like, but I will be absolutely nuking the 49ers on the ML, and I only need one play in that game. Only should have one play in every game anyways. And then the Jets and Steelers under I like as well. With Devontae Adams getting added into the fold, Russell Wilson returning back in the lineup, people thinking that's going to resolve all their problems in the air. This total's low as fuck for all that going on. 38.5 and on the way down. Splits look great. I think that under's hitting.
I'm in on that. I guess only honorable mentions. I'm definitely taking the Dolphins. And assuming Devon Achane is active, I'll load up his squares. And then looking forward to Monday. We'll talk about that more when we get there. But I have Trout dropped for Mike Evans. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Not fucking bad.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, a little Bucks and Ravens matchup on Monday nights. We don't need to go into it too much, but Gutsy and Jovan, any comments on that game?
I'm listening.
The first game back from the hurricane went with the Lightning when they had the narrative. Now you got the Bucks playing their first game in Tampa since then on Monday night against the greatest team of all time, apparently the Baltimore Ravens. Surely they don't win that game.
You forget Lamar's from Florida.
He is from Florida.
Ooh.
You think he don't want to win in his state that just got ravaged by a hurricane?
I mean, he can want to win. He's from Boynton Beach, though. That's not Tampa.
Still, though.
All Florida, it ain't the same. Like, if you're in Miami, you don't claim Tampa and vice versa. South Florida versus Tampa. Completely different worlds.
Well, we'll see. I'm pretty confident. There's no reason I shouldn't be right now.
I like that.
Okay.
I agree with that, Gutsy. Stand on business. 4 straight. Although that spread is trickling down towards the Bucks. I would lean the Bucks at home. TBD if I'll get to the counter. We still got some time for that one. Jovan, who's winning that game?
The Bucks are winning that game.
Wow. Damn. All right, let's move. Let's groove. We talked about honorable mentions. We went over NFL, college football plays for the weekend. We talked about plays for today as well, gentlemen. Even talked about that Monday Night Football matchup between Goots' Ravens. and Jovan's box. Now it's time for the squad rides. You gents ready to lock in? Craft up a winner for tonight?
Let's do it.
Run that shit, Goots. I want to see that train. All right, chat. W squad ride last night. W Jovan. W play on the ice. Nice little bounce back play there. We are now 10-6-1 this month on squad rides. After our worst month ever last month, we are 10-6-1 this month on squad rides. Love it. All right, let's stay hot. Let's keep moving and grooving. Jovan, where's your head at for tonight? I know it's been a while since we talked about these plays, but we got some good looking ones on the card for tonight, man. We do.
Yeah, we have some weird ones though. There's a decent bit of Berg, so it makes it kind of tough. I don't know. Where's your head at?
I'm going to put a winner in there that you are not against, and that is Oklahoma State.
Okay. Can live with that.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
9.5, no qualms?
Yeah.
Make sure that's where that line's at right now. Duke, Florida State, we can leave out. Battleberg, you're on Duke. I'm on Florida State. Purdue is interesting.
I'd like to nominate the Avs by 2.
On. Help.
I mean, like, I'm not going to say no, but we just were in Rat Piss 2 days ago with the Avs.
Red Hawk to it.
They're so public, too. Maybe you guys are right about the Avs being heavy favorites, and that's not even that heavy of a favorite for them.
No.
They're getting nuked. What do we think, chat? Do we give Trent a chance on the ice? We put him in there to win by 2?
We could at least put it in there.
See if chat wants to bet it.
I mean, I'm not betting the Ducks.
No. All right, we'll put it in there. Avs minus 1.5. What else do we have today, gents? Mets or cake. Can't get you guys to the counter there. Maybe that Dodgers Mets under.
I'm 2-0 my last 2 PODs.
People forget
yeah.
that, Goots. W reminder.
Kinda
And
like it
WPOD
these
yesterday,
days.
too.
Yep, hitting the second period. How about it?
What do you like for tonight, Gootsy? And again, don't force. Let it come to you.
I mean, I want to stay
Anything
on
you
the
like?
ice. It's just a short ass slate, but I lean
Yeah.
the over in the Sharks game. That would be my total play.
I don't want to take that, dude. My tail.
You like that play, Jovan?
Yeah, you got the Jets who've been red fucking hot, and Trent loves to fade, or I guess take the Sharks whenever they're massive underdogs like this. And this is kind of one of those spots. Hellebuck's been unreal. He hasn't given up more than a single goal in any start this year. And surely it doesn't happen when they're minus 400 against the Sharks. Just might.
Winnipeg hasn't hit an over this season. San Jose has only hit 1.
Yeah, and it really, I don't think really any of the overs or any of the close overs for the Sharks have been much of their doing besides that opening game because they ain't fucking scoring.
Total is on the way up. At least the odds are. Open up minus 105 to the under. Now I'm seeing some plus 100s, plus 105s to that under 5.5. We give Gootsy a shot after back-to-back dubs.
I think we give Utes a shot, dude.
All right. I'm in. Let's go San Jose and Winnipeg over 5.5. We got Oklahoma State plus 9.5, Avs minus 1.5, San Jose and Winnipeg over. Anything else on the slate today, I don't care what sport, as long as it's a winner, that we're on today.
I don't think we have much non-Berg.
Dodgers Mets under?
I thought that was already in there.
No, it's Oklahoma State, Avs, and San Jose, Winnipeg over.
Oh, and yeah, the Dodgers under there.
I'm in. 4 plays, 4 winners. We got a little Trent, little Goots action. We got my play. We got Jovan's play. All right. I'm in. Chat, 4 plays, 4 winners. Get involved for the BTL squad ride for today. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Twitter, that's awesome. But get your ass over to the Twitch page at Bookit Sports and lock in your vote in the poll. Get involved. Don't just sit there. Make sure you guys are following us and subscribed on YouTube as well. Drop a follow on Twitch. I think we're at 45K followers on Twitch, and we're almost at 8K on YouTube. I'd love to get to 10K there soon. Make sure you guys are subbed up for the peeps. 4 plays, 4 winners. OK State, Avs, San Jose, Winnipeg over, and the Dodgers, Mets under. 4 plays, 4 winners.
This could be the Goots POD day.
4 plays, 4
I
winners.
like that from Goots.
Don't let Goots get hot. It might be too late.
He might be scorching, dude.
It might be too late. Chat, please click the right button. For the love of God, please click the right button today. Let's finish this week strong. Looks like Oklahoma State, Winnipeg, the Avs are all up there. We've got a close race here, gents. Yeah.
This race.
Been a while.
This might be closest poll of all time.
It's been a while. They're all in the 20s right now. Get those votes up, chats. Krabs, do I start Tyrone Tracy or Kareem Hunt? Start Kareem Hunt. Excuse me.
Definitely not Tracy now. They officially said Singletary's back and he's getting carries.
Chat, Mackenzie Blackwood is cracked. Don't click that button.
Bruh.
Now we click it. Now we click it.
I might click that button now, personally.
Trent guarantee.
I click it right now just for fun. Chat, 4 plays, 4 winners. OK State, Avs, San Jose, Winnipeg over, and the Dodgers, Mets under. People were asking in chat what the MLB reads are for tonight. I will be on the Mets on the ML. We'll see what happens with this poll, if that Dodgers, Mets under gets involved. But Mets ML for me, and I mean, kind of lean you over in that last game, but I'm not going to bet it. Don't like it enough.
Yeah.
What about you, gents? How are you seeing these 2 MLB games play out as this poll wraps up?
Only thing I'll be taking. Yeah. Only thing I'll be taking is the Dodgers under. But
Okay.
I think the Dodgers.
Fine, I'll fucking tail.
Oh boy. I thought you already had 10 UMax on the Doyers, bro.
I know, but
Polls closed, chat. Get those votes in. You got about 5 seconds left. If it ties, we're picking a winner. Don't get cute. Make sure it doesn't tie. Tie goes to Goots. He gets to pick.
Give Goots
It's a new rule I just made up. Tie goes to Goots.
Tie goes to Goots.
Get those votes in, chat.
Give it to Goots.
No way. This is soft.
So soft.
how
chat.
does that
so
win?
soft, bro.
Bozos.
How does that
Actually,
win?
So soft.
Come on. Fuck you, chat. Piece of shit.
That's
Bunch of
actually
trolls,
soft.
man.
Aw, dude.
Bunch of trolls. Goots, it was always your play, man. And now we'll never
wanted
know.
this to be the Goots get a shot day, man.
And now we'll never know.
So dumb.
Chat just wants to troll instead of finding winners.
Unbelievable,
Sucks.
man.
Back in my day, chat used to be the sharpest in all the land, and they would click the right buttons, and the squad rides would be at 65%. Now they like to troll. They're only at 60%.
What if Goots pulls out the veto?
Awfully quiet over there. You might be looking for it in his back
I still
pocket.
have one of those in back pocket.
I thought I wasn't given a second veto. When I said I had 2, you were like, "That's bullshit."
Well, it was kind of, I think it was made up where you acquired the second one, but Gates, you've hard earned a second one if you'd like it. Okay, if you want to go ahead and use a veto, cash it in.
If you're putting meat on tape,
I'm not going to
so in.
reverse a vote. I would rather chat want to pick my play than me have to come in and step in. I'd rather that happen.
Yeah, because then that shit don't hit, and he looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
not-
Gutesy, I will say that a lot of people did vote for that play. They believed.
Yeah.
It almost got there. Let's see if Gutesy can go 3-0 in the PADs this week. Okay, it didn't win the squad ride vote, but that doesn't matter. All right, I'm still going to tail that shit. If Jovan likes it, like he was talking about earlier, acting like he already wanted to tail it, I'm in. All right, college football squad ride real quick. Or do you guys want to dip right now?
Do you mind if I dip? I gotta take Manny out.
Gates.
Am I able to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Do I just click end or what? Or
yeah,
Okay.
the red button.
yeah, the red button.
Grant, GG's, great episode today. This is the best time you've been on here yet, in my opinion. Great plays. W stream. We'll catch you again next week. Okay,
That's
great
really
job today.
sad. That's sad that you're saying this is the best I've done yet.
Well, maybe not the sell jobs, but that stream was seamless. It was good.
Yeah.
I like the chemistry. I like the mojo. Good shit today.
Chat. GG's. We'll be fucking.
We'll be.
Peace.
We'll be. All right, chat. Let's lock in. We got the squares out of here. Okay, let's lock in for a college football Saturday squad ride. All right, Jovan, where are we starting? I know you got a couple plays you're eyeing this weekend that you just can't stop thinking of.
I mean, just looking at the two dogs that I feel like we were kind of in agreement on, or at least the one. I feel like it has to start with Maryland. The Terps.
Terps, huh? Dreaming about turtles?
Dreaming about the Terps.
Man,
The Terps and late night beef is where my head immediately goes to.
I like turtles. I'm in. What about Arizona, ML?
Krabs, do we have to?
No, I'm fucking around. How about UConn?
I could be on UConn, of course.
Let's see what that line's at right now. Chat, let me know the favorite college football play. I don't care what it is, who gave it, the favorite play, best sell job you heard on the stream today. Let me know in the chat. All right, what do you want to see in this squad ride vote? UConn, they are still -1.5. We could definitely still put that in there. I have zero qualms with that.
No qualms.
Okay. UConn ML. Maryland +7.5. Take a peep at some of my plays on Saturday.
Yeah, what are you in love with? I forgot what you're. Oh, Georgia first half.
I mean,
Okay.
love it. Absolutely love it. Would love to put that in here. Love that play. Like they said in chat, still looking for that first Georgia ticket. Well, here it is. I'll be on them. Go Dogs. All right, one more play. I mean, we got a couple options. I
we
like
having
your
there so
Oregon
far?
State play a lot.
Oh, Oregon State. Yeah.
Late night
Maybe.
beef.
If you want to put late night beef in there, you know I'm all in for some late night beef.
Okay. You would never turn that down.
Never
Oregon
do.
State +7, or is it 6.5?
I'm seeing 6.5 now. So I
Okay.
can go with that.
Cool. Chat, 4 plays, 4 winners for the college football squad ride on Saturday. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. Long ass show today, and that ain't no problem. We love doing this shit. BTL Fridays are the best days, and we mean that. Love coming on here on Fridays, talking to you guys about plays for the weekend and about today. Lock in, focus, dial in, stay locked. Okay, we still got one more mission to accomplish. Let's click the right fucking button in the college football squad ride poll. Get involved. Okay, don't just sit there. You're watching in the background during work. You're finishing up your work on a Friday. For the handful of people out there actually doing work on a Friday, put the fucking work laptop to the side and lock in and click the right button in the poll. Don't just sit there. Change your life. Get involved. Okay? 4 plays, 4 winners. Maryland +7.5. UConn ML. Georgia first half +3.5. And Oregon State +6.5. 4 plays, 4 winners.
Yeah. And dude, I
4
gotta
plays,
say
4 winners.
too, I don't know that my college football squares ever look at me just super funny because like usually they're just goats. I mean, I'm taking whatever quarterback I think is going to have a big game or a wide receiver that has a great matchup. But like, I feel like these squares look odd to me. My squares.
I loved
Odd in
that
a
running
very
back's
good way.
receiving yard square. Yes, I love that
that's
square.
A crazy square, really crazy square. That
It's just
feels-
vintage Jovan. That's
That
what it
feels
is.
vintage. That feels vintage.
Yeah.
And the couple
It does.
times I've taken touchdowns for, I don't know, dog running backs or just dog star players. I mean, those have been green as maw. So I have a pretty good feeling about the squares. Honorable mention, Scatabo is probably going to have 1 million yards because I don't know what else. I don't know what else Arizona State's going to do against Cincy.
Chat, these votes are relatively close as well. Looks like late night beef out to a nice early lead. Not surprised there. People like the late night beef +6.5. Terps +7.5, lingering around right behind them. Looks like nobody wants Georgia, and only 5 people voted for UConn. Expecting more from chat there. I thought we'd see more UConn bets.
I was expecting more Maryland bets. That was a
Yeah.
close one.
But when you bring up late night beef, it's hard to get that out of people's heads.
That's fair. That's fair.
Can you blame them?
No.
Can't blame them. Yeah, 4 plays, 4 winners. Maryland plus 7.5, UConn ML, Georgia first half plus 3.5, and Oregon State plus 6.5. Lock the fuck in. Click the right button. You got about 10 seconds. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Get involved. Change your life. Do not just sit there. Click the right button and give us a squad ride W for Saturday. Come on. Get involved. Looks like it's going to be Oregon State late night beef. Thoughts on Michigan State? They're covering. That was in the honorable mention parts. I love Michigan State. I'll probably be on the Spartans with the points against Iowa after that 40 Burke. Has to be done. Has to be done. All right. Jovan, any parting words, final comments? I appreciate you giving a breakdown there of how much you like your Prize Pick Squares in college this weekend. W reminder for the chat. Make sure you guys lock those in as we get the late night beef officially confirmed for the squad ride on Saturday night. W's. Jovan, any parting words before we hop off here for NFL, college, anything for the weekend, anything tonight?
I don't know that I have any parting words, but I will try and craft maybe like a weekender bender Flex Friday slip because I've had thousands of people in my DMs asking me for that over this past week because a couple people were asking me to get the demon slips out by Friday so they could tail with that, but they always don't have all the demon options available until tomorrow, Saturday morning, which is why I always have to wait so late. So maybe a 5-guy style entry will be dropping.
No way we got a first-time chatter bitching about the ads.
Bro.
It's first time in here, bro.
Right. That's great.
$4 to sub, $5 to sub. You put more than that on one parlay tonight. And once again, guys, shout out Smell. Shout out our goat Eris for you guys coming in here, dropping hella sub bangs. Fat Girl's dropping a 10-unit whale. Everybody who dropped any subbies today, this is why we play. Okay, look, we could fucking talk sports and bets on our own on the phone all fucking day and lock in winners. We're doing this for you guys, and we're doing it for Lenbar. Plain and simple. Us against the books. W subbies today. Great energy, great stream. Let's keep that momentum rolling into next week. Okay? Squad ride, late night beef on Saturday. Not shocked. Not disappointed. Good. Love it. My parting words, and W. Jovan, please craft up a Flex Friday lineup for the people. That's right up your alley, and they need that. So I'm assuming if you do craft one up, you'll post it on X for people to find if you do.
For sure.
Good. Dubs. My parting words, the Mets are winning tonight. Their magic is dwindling, but it has not run out yet. Mets ML. Don't let it get swept. I know we got football tonight. I know we got football this weekend. We talked a lot of football in the show. Do not let the diamond get swept tonight. The Mets have not heard a goddamn bell. No fat lady has sung yet. They win tonight. They get it done. See how it plays out. We are hitting a Hail Mary this weekend. We're hitting a 5 guys lineup this weekend. We're going to craft those ones up this afternoon. Stay posted. You guys know where to find us. And make sure you're subbed up. Got the notice on YouTube, please. It means more than you guys know. Do me a favor and do it right now before you forget. And make sure you're dropping a follow on the Twitch as well. We appreciate you guys. W stream, squad ride tonight. Jog my memory. It's the under on the diamond in that Mets game.
Yeah. Not even too far tonight. That one starts up relatively soon. So
it does. Don't let that get swept either, chat. Lock in that squad right now before you forget. Okay? W's, Jovan. Great job today. We'll catch you guys.